I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. on Thursday, November 16th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 69. Coming up on OTB, Caroline Fenton joins the show at 8:30. We have a new edition of Big Deal or No Big Deal to kick off the third hour, and we talk to Chef Michael Johnson for a new edition of Munchies at 9:15. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert. Yeah! Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, and welcome into OTB here on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge. Happy Thursday morning, everyone listening out there. Glad to be with you for the next 3 hours. Don't worry, T-Bob is here somewhere in the building. We lost him, but he is here, so he'll be joining us today. There he is. It's okay. Hey, it's okay. T-Bob has walked in the building. T-Bob, Jake, Mario, and Taylor, sometimes Tyler, depending on how he's acting.
Yo, what up, y'all? My bad. Lost track of time. I got to be honest.
Hair looks good.
Thank you. I got a haircut yesterday. I was in the bathroom, and it's really dumb, but I started playing a new cell phone game, and I was sneaking in a quick game of Warcraft Rumble, and all of a sudden I look up and the show started. I know. It's just one of those stupid, like, pay-to-win, Clash Royale type games, but with Warcraft. And I've always loved World of Warcraft, so here I am. Thank you, though, for holding down the Fort Maps. I apologize.
The best part, though, T, is we were in the office, and we had about 4 minutes to showtime. You're like, I'm going to go use the restroom real quick before the show. So you knew you had 4 minutes, but it got you.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I thought I got sucked in. I was like building my deck. I had to change some things up. But whatever. It's going to be a very fun Thursday. Vibes are elite. I feel like everybody's in a pretty good mood. Taylor was very loud, like, what up, dude, immediately when I walked in, which is great. Taylor, you're feeling better, I assume?
Yeah, I thought I was, but I'm just sitting here chilling before the show, and right when we start, I look up, and only one of the panels has changed.
Okay.
You're clicking behind T-Bob. I was late to the game as well, but yeah, I'm doing good.
So the vibes are high, the execution is low, but I do think we have a good show planned.
But the adversity is being overcome.
Yes,
it's true.
Easily.
We got through that.
I think we got a good show planned for y'all. So if you want to hang out for the next 3 hours, youtube.com/1045 ESPN. Listen on the radio while you're driving to work, and then when you get to work, you can listen on the radio still, or you can hop over to stream, get your comments in, whatever you want. All right, let's. Okay, so we're going to start with kind of looking at LSU's and the Saints' goals for this weekend. And then we'll see what that conversation transposes into. We're going to preview week 12 of college football this weekend. And as you'll probably see, a bit of a down week here. Again, we mentioned it, but I just cannot stand these late cupcake weeks. Maybe a little SEC title game preview a little on. Arch Manning news, Mississippi State coaching search, big deal or no big deal, and a little munchies with Chef Michael Johnson. And obviously it's almost Thanksgiving, right? So you're going to want to show up for munchies. A little extra juice in the air today. Let's talk about it, boys. What are LSU's goals for this weekend? Playing a team like Georgia State. Stay healthy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Put up stats, certainly. It feels like this entire season is boiled down to Now the goal is win Jaden Daniels the Heisman. And then, I don't mind getting some action with the young guys, right? Let's see what maybe little Nuss looks like. What other young players would you want to see rep that maybe don't rep?
I want to see more Trey Holly. We saw him at the end of the Army game, and he played really well. He actually got SEC Freshman of the Week that week. We've seen a lot of Caleb Jackson, and he's looked good, but I want to see a little more Trey Holly. That's kind of the guy on offense.
On defense, you've seen them because they've needed everybody that they could possibly get out there. So some of the defensive guys we've already seen, even though we weren't expected to see them. I would say receivers. Samson and others, like some younger receivers.
Jaylen Brown, guys like that.
We saw in training camp that, certainly have some talent, but because you've got, the best duo of receivers in the country, you haven't had the opportunity to see them. So probably I'm going to go young receivers.
The the defense is kind of interesting, man. They're not good, but I was talking yesterday, and my boy Troy Mercer, who shout out Troy, I've been getting my hair cut by him for I don't know, damn near 10 years now.
Is he related to Roy D?
What am I missing?
Anybody know Roy D. Mercer? Is anybody old enough to remember Roy D? Good God.
I only know Roy from Super Smash
He
Bros.
used to prank call people.
Oh, okay. Now I know who you're talking about.
How big a boy
I
are ya?
vaguely remember some
Okay.
of my Manny relatives used to love his comedy.
That tracks.
So
That
they used to love
tracks.
his comedy tapes
Okay.
back in the day.
Yeah.
I think I've heard maybe a couple of them at some point.
We might have to play a Roy D. Mercer phone
I'm
call
down.
on the show today.
Yeah, I agree. That'd be awesome. Anyway, but Troy was saying, he's like, I this defense isn't any good, but he's like, I kind of like him. They're a little lovable, right? And I wonder, like, I know the staff is where a lot of the frustrations are going to lie, but is this defense a little lovable in that it's a bunch of young kids that have been put into bad situations and they're just out there trying to do like anything they can to come up with a stop?
They are. They're doing everything and anything, and it's been different combinations of different players. I honestly, I can see what he's talking about.
A little scrap.
Toviano going out there as a freshman. He
Yeah.
wasn't playing at all. And all of a sudden, hey, you're going from not really playing at all to being a starter. And there's some saltiness there. There's some grit and all those things that we talk about there. So, yeah, it hasn't been great, but you are getting an opportunity. And you're also getting –
Andre Sam's continued to fight. That's someone who has dreamed of putting on the LSU uniform. Like, he's actually gotten better and better as the year has gone on. His run fits early were awful. They've been much improved as of late, including one that resulted in him getting kicked out that shouldn't have.
That was a good run fit. Sage Ryan's had to move out to full-time corner. So, yeah, for sure. You can appreciate the things that they've done for LSU and LSU football, like sometimes out of position and sometimes just doing whatever you literally have to do because it's the only option. So, and also, like, Toviano getting run like this is only going to pay off in the future. He looks like he's going to be a really good football player, like all SEC type football player for LSU. And so, like, this run that he's getting right now is going to pay off as you go into the offseason. Now, next year, you're not going to find out. You already know.
Yeah, so, obviously, like, a game like this is a good chance for that kind of scrappy, and maybe you don't have to call them lovable, right? But I do have a certain appreciation for them trying to overcome what is a pretty bad position they've been put in on multiple fronts. But it's a good weekend for them in terms of goals to go play well, gain some confidence. Going into what is going to be an uber important Texas A&M game. Everything, like you thought last year's mattered, and it did, right? It almost sullied what was otherwise a really good season. Right now, Texas A&M is literally the make or break point of your entire football season. And we can get into, we can kind of dive into that concept further next week. But, like, even now, just thinking about it, Jake, like I said, think about all the work that goes into this year, all the work that goes into this season, all of the ups and downs. And now we reach an inflection point where it's a success if you beat them, and it's an utter failure if you lose.
I think that's pretty fair. It really is because of the way last year played out, and you lost to a bad Texas A&M team. Looking at where you're at compared to where they're at, right? They shouldn't have any juice because they don't have a leader right now. And you could say, well, interim bump. I don't know how much Texas A&M is going to get that. And if they got it, it'd probably be this week against Abilene Christian, not against LSU. It's in your building. You feel like you owe them something, all of those things. And then we've talked about it. If you want to get to 10 wins, you have to get this game.
Yeah.
Like you have to get this one, and you're going to play a good team in the bowl game as well.
And look, make no mistake, right? If we look at the last 2 years before Brian Kelly showed up, you're one game under 500. So right now, just factually, it is improving, right? To go 10-4 last year and then maybe 9-3 this year, that's good. But even though 10-4 and 8-4 is better, that ain't good enough.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's still improvement, but that ain't good enough. You ain't pay Brian Kelly, the winningest coach in all of college football, $10 million a year to come and go 8-4, 5-3 in the SEC. Like 9-3, 6-2, okay, success. So LSU has literally, towed this tightrope, towed this line to now where going into next week, you're going to be balancing on a razor's edge, and it makes for kind of fascinating watching, quite frankly. It's an 11-8 kickoff is going to have a lot of juice behind it.
And honestly, think about how this series has gone the last couple of times. Yeah, A&M was bad last year, and they really dominated you, maybe more than anybody else did, certainly up front.
Yeah.
Like A-Chain had a pretty successful start to his NFL career, but they dominated you, and they were, again, not even bowl eligible last year. Go back to the year before that. They were a team that was, at the time, number 11 in the country. They had a close loss to Ole Miss, and then they came here still. I think they were top 15 team in the country, and you were a bad football team. And Max Johnson, as your quarterback, you went out there and you beat Texas A&M. And so, like, the heavy favorite in this game the last couple of years has struggled to win this game.
It's true. God, dude. I mean, it's funny. When we talked to Luch, Jake, he pointed to that A&M game in Tiger Stadium, the last-second touchdown for Max Johnson, as the actual inflection point where everything changed for them. Because I wish I could remember the numbers off the top of my head, but essentially it was kind of what we're talking about with LSU right here, where if they would have won that game, it would have been a really good year. They might have been like 9-3 or something, chance to win 10 games, second year in a row, and he pointed to that as kind of the secret catalyst for the downward spiral, that everything kind of continued to fall apart after that. So some shocking similarities, even if maybe it's flipped a bit. And my God, how good did it feel when who called that?
Dre.
Yeah, dude, how good did it feel? I mean, right there at like the one or the touch, I could still see it just right at the beginning of the end zone, far corner. Oh, beautiful, absolutely.
Dre was
beautiful.
Good for those, wasn't he?
Yeah. That was a fun night. That was a fun whiskey and wine. Speaking of which, I just got confirmation Don Juan going to be open up at 10:30 a.m. next Saturday. So if you want to come get drunk and smoke cigars at 10:30 a.m., well, hey, come on. Let's do it, folks. Okay, so that's kind of LSU's goals for this weekend and going forward. Coming up next, let's look at what the Saints' goals are for this weekend and moving forward. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench on 104.5 ESPN.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to centralplumbing.org, 925-8552. Centralplumbing.org, 925-8552. Look, the holiday season is upon us. Thanksgiving's around the corner. Your plumbing may be working overtime. In fact, you may have some family come in and something goes horribly awry. That's bad. What's good is that Central Plumbing has 24/7 emergency service, so they can take care of you. Have flat rate pricing, great warranty. Everybody's licensed, bonded, and insured. So if something goes wrong this holiday season, you desperately need to fix whatever damage Uncle Jack did to your toilet, well, you want to go to centralplumbing.org, 925-8552.
Are you just going to call out my oldest son like that?
Yeah.
Don't do it, Jack. Centralplumbing.org is the website, 225-925-8552, and 24/7 does mean 365, so even during the holidays coming up next week, they've got you covered. Centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985
Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Brian Kelly meets with reporters one more time before the Georgia State game. We'll chat with Mike Triplett and our Fantasy Blitz. 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Anthony works in the grocery store, saving his pennies for someday. Mama Leone left a note on the door. She said, "Sonny, move out to the country. Ah, but working too hard can give you a heart attack. You wanna know by now who needs a house out in Hackett?"
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Sorry, I forgot to bring up your comments, but I will open the chat right now and see if you're saying anything interesting. So we talked about LSU goals for the weekend. What about the New Orleans Saints goals for the weekend? Going into a bye week, I would say, first off, nobody get arrested. It's been a bit of a tough year for the Saints in that regard. Second off, stay and get healthy and get ready for this final push. And interestingly, y'all, just to double check me here, the Saints have the Falcons at the other edges, right? Okay, thank you. So, we just mentioned for LSU, everything comes down to this A&M game. And make no mistake, the Saints game is not as singular, but it pretty damn near does come down to this Atlanta Falcons game on the road, where if you win, not only will you gain an entire another game on the Falcons, who At this point, they're more of a threat to win the South than the Bucs, right?
About the same.
No.
Yeah, about record-wise, I think they're the exact same.
Yeah, in my opinion, they're about the same.
If you're asking the question, do I think?
I mean,
that's
like
what you're
quality
asking.
of team.
I
Yes,
think,
I mean like quality of team.
I think the Falcons are more quality than the Bucs.
So let's just call them then, and even if we are splitting hairs, let's call them the biggest threat to you winning the NFC South. You're a game up. If you win, not only do you win into their house, so you'll have a home game come back, but you'll be 2 games up directly with the head-to-head. So it's a massive, massive game. You also be 6-5, so it pulls you above 500, whereas a loss does all of the complete opposite. It ties you, gives them the tiebreaker. You're at 5-6 all of a sudden. You feel awful coming out of a bye week. It changes the entire tenor of the season. And I keep going back to this quote. And by the way, what a big weekend of football next week, boys. You kidding me?
Yeah.
I mean, there is going to be a ton on the line. So help me out. So we're going to get Thanksgiving on Thursday, right?
That works, yeah.
That 23rd feels early, but I feel like Thanksgiving on Thursday. And then, so that's going to be great. We're going to watch all the NFL football then, eat delicious meals, yada, yada, yada. Egg bowl at night. Let's go. Then 11 a.m. LSU season will be on the line. And then Sunday, when you're probably eating delicious turkey gumbo made out of turkey stock and everything else, the Saints season is going to be on the line in a lot of ways. I mean, the turkey season football is going to be popping off next weekend.
You have 3 games on Thanksgiving in the NFL.
What do we got next week? I haven't even looked at the
You've
Thanksgiving
got
slate yet.
Packers at Lions, Commanders at Cowboys, 49ers at Seahawks. And then on Friday, you get Dolphins at Jets.
Oh, and a little Friday. Oh, man, our cup overfloweth this football weekend.
And by the way, the Bucs are at the 49ers this week. So you could pick up a game on them as well.
There you go. That's probably going to be a loss there.
Half a game, but
so it's going to be a massive weekend, a ton of line for the New Orleans Saints. And I loved what Mickey Loomis said when he went on WWL radio, saying, quote, every team is different. And I think when you get into these stretch runs, you're not building character, you're revealing it. So the character of our team will be revealed over these next 7 games. And am I reading too much into it, boys? Am I reading too much into it? Or is that because maybe this is what I want that to read like, because we talked about it with Nick the other day. Like, is this front office and ownership capable of separating results from the actual objective analysis of what needs to be done? That, to me, kind of feels like that is turning up the pressure a little bit on this staff and these players right now.
You would hope so. You would hope that would be the case. You would hope that they would take a look at everything and not just, well, we won the division. Like, okay, that's great. But if you win the division and you are a 9-8 football team and it's just a very bad division and you haven't made the strides that you want to make, will you do something about it? Or will you lean back and kind of use that as a guardrail?
Yeah. That's kind of the question. I feel like this is, no more this. Okay. Dennis Allen's 2 years into this thing. This to me does feel a bit like Loomis. And again, I might be reading too much into this, but it does feel a bit like saying, hey man, there ain't no more building it. Like there ain't no more like we're getting better. We just need time. You're deep into this stretch run, 500, leading the division, 7 games to go. How are you going to finish? Because ultimately that's going to reveal what type of team you are and what type of coach you are. And, if you're the Saints, you can sit there and think you have a good team. You can say you can be a good team like they do every single week in that locker room, and we just got to figure it out. We don't know what the problem is. We got to figure it out. Okay, well, there ain't no more time for that. It's time to go prove that you are a good team. And that's the beautiful part about football, boys. There ain't no hiding. The eye in the sky doesn't lie. You can't piss on us and tell us it's raining. You can't gaslight us into thinking that you're good. Ultimately, the results are going to prove what you are. And, well, we're gonna learn. We're going to learn. Starting next week with the Atlanta Falcons. Enjoy this bye week and then gear up for this final push.
Like, you have to do something different, right? Winning a bad division right now, I don't think that should keep everyone safe. You have to show that the narrative can be different for multiple games in a row. It can't just be 2 games on, 2 games off, 2 games on, 2 games off. That's who you've been this year. I mean, you can look at the trends of how they've played, and it hasn't been consistent. Like, us 2 games is not consistent. Now, you haven't faltered for more than 2 games, but you have got to show progression. I mean, your head coach has the 14th worst all-time winning percentage of any head coach in NFL history. All right? So we know that. Everyone knows that. You have to show signs of consistency here down the stretch, because you also have the easiest schedule in the NFL down the stretch. No other team has an easier schedule than you do. You have to take advantage of that. You have to go take advantage of the opportunity you have right now. I mean, the rest of the teams on your schedule, you should have a high quality of success rate in this stretch run.
You know, unfortunately, there's also other teams on the schedule that you should have thus far, and you haven't. And so that's the problem. That feels like who you are. And that feels like what's going to be revealed is a roller coaster where maybe you hope to go 9-8 and win the division. Which is a lot of fun, and I'll cheer for. But again, yes, we'll have to have objective conversations after the year about what needs to be done.
You have one team, T-Bob, in your final 7 games with a winning record. One team, the Detroit Lions, and you get that one at home. Are they good? Yeah, they're really good. But that's the team. You go to the Falcons. You play the Panthers, who are god-awful. You play the Giants, who are god-awful. You go to L.A. and play the Rams, bad football team. You go to the Bucs. We know that one's not going to be roll the helmets out there. That one still will have some juice to it. It'll be tough. And then you get the Falcons at home to finish your season. It couldn't line up any better.
No, but the thing is, I hear that schedule, and I mean, every game feels like a coin flip.
And that's
the problem. After what we've seen through 10
but
games,
that's the problem, though.
Yeah, I agree.
With this roster, with as healthy as you've stayed for the most part.
Oh, yeah, that's the other part about this year. Who told me that the other day? A casual convo. But, yeah, Jake, not only do they have the easiest schedule in the NFL, they're like, if not the healthiest, they're top 3.
That was you,
yeah. They're like top 3 healthiest in the NFL. That's what you always pray for and hope for.
I mean, with the talent that they have on this roster to stay healthy,
ain't no excuse.
I would have said the record is 2 games better at minimum.
Should be. I mean, the Packers game still looms incredibly large. That was blown. The inexcusable first half against the Vikings is just that, inexcusable. So figure it out, boys. 7 weeks. You want to shut us up? Go do it. That's what I'm saying. There ain't no opinion. Prove it with facts. Go win.
You go 10-7. You go 10-7, and I think that plays.
That'd be, I mean, you kidding me? 5-2 over the final 7.
Of the 7 games that we just laid out,
that would
you should go 5-2 if you're doing the things that you need to do with what you have available.
Should.
I know.
Against the string of likely backup quarterbacks.
Like, what do they need to do for us to be like completely happy? You're saying you should go 5-2.
I think as a Saints, if you're a Saints fan or if you're someone that cares about what their record is, if they are not 10-7 at the end of this year, you should be highly disappointed.
I mean, yes,
easiest in the NFL.
Even if you have fun celebrating maybe like a 9-8 playoff berth or 8-9 wild card or something like that.
Yeah, you can still do that, but you should be disappointed.
Have fun, but yes, you could still be like, but these changes need to be made.
Yep.
So we gonna learn today. Jake, what's it take in the NFL to have a successful stretch run like Mickey Loomis is alluding to here?
I think you have to realize the opportunity that you have. You have to realize what your schedule is going to be. You have to realize how many division games you have coming up, and you have to kind of preach to each other. And Dennis Allen's going to do it, but also like the leadership of the team. You have to say, hey, look how many division games we have. And your goal, like as a team, is to win those division games and get into the tournament.
Yes.
Like that's your ultimate goal right now. And so when you see Falcons twice, when you see the Panthers, when you see the Bucs, that's really where you start that conversation, because Cam Jordan and all those leaders are saying, hey, we have the opportunity. We control our own destiny. And oftentimes in the NFL, you don't get that opportunity. So I guarantee you that's the message. These division games against teams that we should go out there and be successful against are still in front of us, right? So if we go take care of those 4 games, we're in.
Yep.
We're in and just get into the tournament. So I bet that's the message right now. And with 4 of those being the last 7, I think you can create that consistency that we're talking about. I think. You got to go out there and prove it.
Again, like you said, I think you should, but we'll see. Shane Smith, maybe the Saints aren't as talented as everyone thinks.
See, but they are.
That's the problem is, though, that, like, I agree with you, but there's no way to prove it unless, like, an Alvin Kamara would go to a more functional team and you get to see what he would do. Or, like,
there's a
receivers.
reason that, like, when the Saints had a couple of free agents last year, like, certainly on the defensive side of the football, man, teams jumped on those guys.
Yeah,
right? I
true.
mean, they were day one, day two free agents. They weren't week one, down the road, last day of the first week, right? And that's how free agency in the NFL works. Like, if you sign in the first 3 days of free agency, you're a dude. Like, teams wanted you. Now, if you sign a week after that, 2 weeks after that, you got question marks. I mean, they were having guys sign, it felt like almost every single day when we came on and did the show. And you still have a bulk of talent. Even if it's not working out, like, they're talented players. Like, we talk about on the offense and defensive lines for the Saints. I mean, there's so many first-round picks on both sides of the line of scrimmage, right? And you've seen flashes, but you haven't seen consistency from those guys. On the offensive side. On the defensive side, as our guy Hold DeMayo says, you couldn't find some of those guys with a search warrant because they're just not available. But you still have talent.
Yeah.
I mean, name a position for the Saints that they don't have a talented player. Like, think about all the money they spent in free agents. Well, okay. I mean, safety, right? You went and spent out a ton of money to get Marcus May, and you brought in Tyron. Corner, how many guys you've drafted with Paulson Adebo and Lattimore and Alante Taylor. I mean, we could go position by position. You got DeMario Davis and Pete Warner. Like, you look at the talent of this roster, and you could argue it's one of the top, it feels like top 8, top 5 talented rosters. That doesn't mean that they're going to be a top 5, top 8 football team. But as far as the talent on this roster, they even have pieces like a Taysom Hill where there's no comp on the offensive side of the football. So talent's not the issue. It's now in this coaching staff that has not had a lot of success in their history to get the most out of it during this 7-game stretch where you have the opportunity to play 4 games in your division and go get into the postseason, something you haven't done.
So we're going to see, man. We're going to find out. Enjoy this brief respite this weekend as much as you can, right? I kind of wish we had football that was going to make me want to tear my heart out this weekend. But enjoy it because next week is going to be intense, boys. And I ain't talking Native American. So it's a really bad joke. Get it? Yeah, do you get it? Do you get it, Jake?
I didn't even.
Intense. And I said I ain't talking Native American. Let's go to break. And
I mean, I got it, but I'm,
we got more off the bench.
Have you tried that one before?
I never have. There's a joke that involves, like it's something like, what was it like, for the Native Americans living outside? It was intense. I think that's somewhere along the line of the joke that I've heard in the past, but I don't know, dude. I don't know. Okay. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge. Let's more OTB coming up.
Oh, dang it, Bobby.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. It's the holiday season. There's a lot of great deals over there at All-Star Toyota, so go check them out. All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com. You can see them right there. Toyotathon's going on. If you're a recent graduate, military member, they always have deals for you year-round. But let's say you got maybe a teen, your wife, your husband, whoever, you want to do that ultimate, a gift fulfillment fantasy where they walk outside, the car's got the bow on it. You can do that with All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge. Go check them out today, All-Star Toyota.
You also can rent that Toyota if you've got a trip coming up for Thanksgiving. You're going out of town. Maybe you need something a little bit bigger because you got all the luggage, or maybe you want something smaller, better on gas mileage, whatever it might be. The full fleet is available in the rental process. Everything that you can buy new over at All-Star, you can rent as well. Reserve that vehicle today, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford is taking $10,000 off MSRP on all new 23 Ford F-150 Black Widow trucks, plus $2,750 discount APR and 5.9% for 72 months. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
The best-kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
It was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 7.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. T-Bob, Jake Marr, Taylor hanging out with you today. Getting ready for a relatively chill weekend of football as LSU takes on Georgia State. I got to be honest, boys, I haven't done much research on Georgia State. What are they, 7-2, something like that overall? They got a pretty good record, don't they?
They were a 6-win football team.
Okay, maybe not. Then never.
But the fact that you shot your shot and you were close, I find it impressive. Let's say you could absolutely. They're 6-4.
Okay. Well, never mind. That conversation died on the vine.
But
an overripe grape.
But I will back up my co-host here. They were at one time 6-1.
There you go. Hit a little rough patch. Don't know if it's going to get any better going into Tiger Stadium.
So they've lost the last 3 games at Georgia Southern, 44-27, against James Madison, 42-14, and against App State, 42-14, back-to-back weeks.
I can't wait to do 90 minutes post-game at 1 a.m. On the Georgia State.
They did go to Lafayette, though, and take care of the Raging Cajuns 20-17 before the losing streak started.
In all seriousness, if you want to have some fun Saturday night, it's probably a pretty good game to come by Don Juan if you just want to chill and kick it and talk. I
do like the Sun Belt, though. I really do. Like, the Sun Belt's got some, like, quality teams. Like, if you took, like, the group of 5 and you stacked up and you had this tournament of conferences, Sun Belt's whipping somebody.
I would agree with that. Sun Belt's great. Sun Belt or AAC?
Sun Belt.
Wow. You don't like Tulane? Trying to cut away from
where
their
do you,
resume,
where do you go after Tulane?
You don't like Memphis?
No. James Madison, who's undefeated. Coastal Carolina, who's 7-3. Appalachian State, who's 6-4. But we know what they can do. They beat A&M last year and should have beat Carolina again this year. Troy's 8-2. Texas State 6-4. They beat the hell out of Baylor.
A very good conference.
South Alabama beat the hell out of Oklahoma State.
That's true.
And South Alabama did that to Oklahoma State, and they're 3-3 in conference.
All right. I got you. Sunbelt badass. Let's look at, so not a lot of local football here this weekend. The big games for Week 12, though. I mean, the biggest one, once again, the Huskies going to be involved. Washington going to Corvallis, take on Oregon State. And boys, I feel awful about it. Just absolutely putrid. This is an Oregon State team that seems tailor-made to beat Washington. It's going to be rainy. It's going to be cold. Which Washington's used to it, so it's not like they're going to be stepping into an environment where they're like, but that's going to favor a team that wants to run the ball. Washington has one of the worst rush defenses in the entire country. Oregon State has one of the best rush offenses. You're going to say Uiagalele's play action. I feel you can clearly see why Oregon State is favored in this game, despite what Washington has been all year long.
Well, Oregon State and what they've been all season long as well. And so you get this as a home game, and you can kind of understand why Oregon State would be the favorite. When you look at not only this matchup and what it's going to be, knowing how physical Oregon State wants to be, but also, T-Bob, you and I talked about this, I think, on Monday. It's also the game after the game. Well, who did Washington play in their last time out? They played Utah. What is Utah? Physical as hell. What is Oregon State? Physical as hell. So that leans on you as a football team. Even if you're a physical football team, when you have to go against Utah and you got to come right back and you have to travel, short travel, but you have to travel to Oregon State, man, playing teams like that back-to-back, like that's also going to be very difficult for Washington. And so I understand why they're the underdog. A lot of people don't, but I actually do understand. And then you look at who Oregon State is, and, you know, the loss to Arizona on the road, 27-24. Well, that looks completely different now.
Yeah.
The Washington State, I don't know if you watched that game.
They went to Pullman at night, and Cam Ward and that receiver had like an unbelievable game.
Remember, they came back, and they almost came fully back in. Washington State got out to a big lead in that game. It
Pullman
turns
at
out
night's weird, too.
It's 38-35 on the road. They were ranked at the time. So, and they've got some very quality wins on their resume against UCLA and against Utah. They were the first team to beat Utah when Utah was a top 10 football team. And so Oregon State is going to affect the college football playoff maybe more than anybody, with Washington and Oregon to finish the season.
So a gambling episode of Snaps is coming out later today. And our gambling guy has these things that he calls hot sauce bets.
Hot sauce bets.
And they're the bets where you basically put the mortgage on it. They're the bets where you bet large enough to where if you lose every other week, it doesn't matter. And, for him, that gets in like the 5-figure range and whatnot, because he's a professional gambler. And his last hot sauce bet, and the only other true hot sauce bet of the season, was that Notre Dame USC game.
Mm-hmm.
So how that one played out. Exactly right. This is a hot sauce game, according to him, for Oregon State.
Really?
Yeah. And he has a pretty impressive analytical system that compares a ton of different models and then spits out a number. Remember that's the chart that we were looking at going into LSU Ole Miss. That's his system. That had all the advantages, who has the advantage and everything, the bars, and then it spit out a number at the end. It's like Ole Miss should win this game by like 3 or whatever, and so I'm kind of bummed. I don't think I'm going to bet on it because I'm not going to bet against my Huskies. But yeah, I'm just a little worried, dude. I think this may be where, the only hope I have is that, okay, so if like everything on paper actually logically says Oregon State should win, but you still got to play the game, right? And I love John Smith, but I really love Kalen DeBoer. And Kalen DeBoer's, what's his overall head coaching record? It's like 111 and like 8 or something stupid. Yeah. Like, is someone who's coached a lot of big football games. He
like
always finds a way to win.
Same deal.
And so I hope I'm just kind of hoping against hope that DeBoer and Penix can just find a way.
DeBoer is 111.
In what?
100 wins, 11 losses.
Oh, okay, 111.
And 11, yeah.
There you go. You know what's kind of cool about this game? They've been playing it for 108 years. It's the first time both teams are in the top 10. And really look at the combined record of the teams the last two. You're talking about a 21-2 Washington team against a 18-5 Oregon State team. And they beat Texas and who in the bowl game last year? Florida, yeah.
In the Las Vegas Bowl.
I mean, that's awesome, dude. These two
Washington's
very good
won
teams.
17 games in a row.
Yeah, I know. Here's
17.
hoping the boys can make it 18.
How would you feel if you're Washington? You've won 17 games in a row. You've beaten all these ranked teams, and you have the best win according to the committee in the country, and you still can't crack into the top 4. Yeah. Wild to me.
So I'm sorry we went so long there. I actually plan on touching a bunch of other games, but I'm obviously just operating out of fear for my Huskies now. I've been with them all year long, and you know me, like, look, I backed them against Oregon, and I think everybody just acting like Oregon is clearly the better team is insane, considering like what has Oregon actually done beyond one good win against Utah. All they've done is lose to Washington the last 2 years, but I hate this Oregon State matchup from a just paper standpoint. So we'll see. I still do want to talk about the other games, but coming up next, let's close out hour 1. Get an hour 2 here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Community Steel Company, communitysteelco.com. Communitysteelco.com. Brand new website. Website's great. And look, purlin, tubing, steel buildings, all your steel needs right there, made on site in their own custom fab machines. That's what's crazy, man. We were talking to BG and the boys. We're actually like made the machines, and you see the product. It's unreal, y'all. And that's the best part. You can go to Gonzalez, you can touch it, you can feel it, you can see what you're going to buy. You get to know the live, human, local sales team that's going to service you and your business, or just you, if you're just getting something for personal use. The bottom line, you want quality steel products at the best prices, local. You want Community Steel.
Go to communitysteelco.com, and like T-Bob said, right there on the homepage, you're going to know immediately Gonzales, Louisiana, not Dallas, Austin, Houston. Right here, you can get it done today, 225-647-2020.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $20,000 off MSRP on new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. $20,000 off plus no payments for 90 days on new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Running Parts Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few.
Anchor joins for the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch. We are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar and Town Square Pizza. Paul Nolan will give us an opinion on Thursday night's game, plus Matt Humans and Dwayne Colucci. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. weekdays on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Y'all want to do some rumors, boys?
Always.
And
Easy, Fleetwood Mac.
These are rumors. Oh, that would have been a good song to come in with. I didn't think about that. These are rumors that I want to be clear, I don't think these are based in any reality or actual reporting. This is something that just kind of independently, I'm sure many of us arrived at, but now people are starting to write the articles. And did you see the Quinn Ewers news? Quinn Ewers likely going to return to Texas.
Yes.
Carson Beck also likely to return to Georgia. So
I actually think that's smart, talking to some draft people.
yeah, bro, he might be the number 1 overall pick if he stays. Yeah. I mean, he's improved so much during the year, a whole nother offseason. He could likely be the number 1 pick. But, and by the way, that's awesome. Look, college football players staying is awesome. It's fun. NIL, paying dividends. Look at that. Because if you're happy and you're having fun and you're making millions, why would you go?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the NFL will still be there. And it'll be harder.
Yes, with less job security.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Okay, but what does that mean then? Quinn Ewers goes back to Texas. Already, Malik Murphy is a freshman, same class as Arch Manning, and playing over Arch Manning and got wins and is a physical specimen. What does it do for Arch, Jake? I mean, that depth chart's looking long. Look, it's looking like a long way to the field at that point. I would say there's a shorter path right here in Baton Rouge. That's right, boys. Arch Manning to LSU. Can you dig it? Are you about it? Can you feel it?
I can't feel it. I would be about it, but no.
But no, in what sense? No, you don't think it's going to happen?
Yeah, yes. Just answering questions.
I would incline, that is where I land as well in terms of what's most likely. But Arch is interesting in that normally you might say, why did he leave Texas? He's probably making crazy money. Well, Arch doesn't care about NIL. He ain't making NIL. That's not the motivating factor for him. He's not accepting. He doesn't have to accept it. That man wants to play. And I would say if LSU takes home their second Heisman quarterback in 5 years and you just look at the 2 quarterback situations, again, there's going to be wide open opportunity at LSU. Like, I know Nuss is slotted in, and I would love for Nuss to be awesome and win that job. But like we keep talking about, it doesn't mean that you don't bring in competition there.
I don't hate it, and I agree with you. But if you really think you can beat out Nuss, that's great. The issue I have, it's like, if you're LSU, do you roll out a unproven Arch Manning as your starter day one?
No, you roll out whoever wins the job.
Yeah, for sure. I get that. But it's like, if all things are equal, you're probably going Nussmeier, I would imagine, just because he's been in your program a little longer. So if Arch transfers, he's going to have to understand there's a risk that you may have to sit another year, because after Nussmeier, Colin Hurley's talented. You could possibly get Bryce Underwood. Ricky Collins has showed potential, but none of them have any experience either. So that would be like the year for Arch, because you have to show that you're significantly better than Nussmeier. So I think there's risk there involved with Arch. Now, I would welcome the competition and the transfer, but there's a little bit of risk there for him.
Almost any major college, though, nobody's going to hand you a starting quarterback job. No. And if they do, it's probably not the best run program.
No, I'm all about competition. I think competition here at LSU has really brought out the best in some of these quarterbacks that we're talking about, but I just don't know that it's going to be a Manning. I can't see a Manning ever coming to LSU. I mean, we've talked about that so many times.
It's the first time. It's like you've seen Across the Spider-Verse, right?
I have.
And Gwen's like, in every universe, Gwen Stacy falls for Peter Parker. And in every universe that goes wrong, what does Miles say? Or falls for Spider-Man. What does Miles say? It's the first time for everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay, come on, baby. Come on, Arch. I'll be your Miles Morales. Come down here. Let's go listen to Metro Boomin while swinging through the city.
Well, Ole Miss doesn't need a quarterback because they got one Walker Howard of the future. Tennessee doesn't need a quarterback. They've got theirs of the future. So the two other landing spots you're probably thinking about.
What about Vanderbilt?
Come on, baby.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Good morning, everybody. It is a.m. on Thursday, November 16th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 69. Coming up on OTB, Caroline Fenton joins the show at 8:30. We have a new edition of Big Deal or No Big Deal to kick off the third hour. And we talk to Chef Michael Johnson for a new edition of Munchies at 9:15. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome in. 8 a.m., hour 2 of OTB, prime time, kicking off. And I'm about to throw you a little opening salvo here. Catch this axe, big dog. Of course, this opening hour 8 always brought to you by Skull Axe Throwing, gcaxe.com. You sign up right now online, use the code EARLYBIRD. You get 20% off. If you're looking for something fun to do, man, you want date night, boys night, girls night, whatever. I heard somebody casually bragging about how good they are at throwing axes. So I think once you get bit by that bug, you in it. Unfortunately, I could have had a babysitter for tonight, boys. So our tentative plan is to push back the OTB axe throw in 2 weeks, because next Thursday's Thanksgiving. Otherwise, we do it then. 2 weeks.
Then you're out of town.
No.
I thought for Disney.
Week after. I'm in town for the week of championship weekend. It's the week after that I'm out of town for.
Oh, that's even worse.
That's
Army Navy Heisman weekend.
Yeah.
Oof. Boys, get your voices ready.
Hell yeah.
Skull Axe Throwing, Skull Axe. Go check them out today, gcaxe.com. Very good time. All right. So look, we talked about the beginning of the show. This weekend for LSU is take care of business. Hopefully Jaden puts up stats because we all want to see him win the Heisman. By the way, boys, the Jaden Heisman juice is pretty damn strong right now, right? Like, it almost feels like we're tilting at windmills a bit. Now, I know what makes us, what makes us all not very quixotic from us, Jake, is the fact that the Vegas odds don't reflect that, right? But the media seems to be pretty all in on Jaden right now. And you're saying, okay, so why then would Vegas, like the champ said, the PMT boys are in on it, right? I saw the Out of Pocket, which that's SEC Network, so granted, they're kind of biased, right? But Out of Pocket, T.O. Spikes going hard. I mean, wow, look, there you go, right now. They're doing it right now on television. It just feels like everywhere I look, people are saying Jaden Daniels should actually be the Heisman. But you go look at odds and who leads, Bo Nix and Michael Penix. So what is Vegas clearly telling you? The way you have to guard against is Jaden sitting at home on championship weekend while those guys maybe have a big stage in which to operate. I would say this, Georgia State's not going to make or break you, but you do got to put up numbers, because your greatest attribute right now is being a statistical outlier.
Yep.
So as dumb as this sounds, I feel like even more than 9-3, which you like we said, the season's a disaster if you go 8-4. But even more than 9-3, a Heisman carries more value for this program than anything else going forward in the future. If all of a sudden you can point to 2 Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks in the last 5 years, that's how you recruit guys to come play under State, or Bryce Underwood. You're going to get a transfer Archie Manning, transfer whoever, right? And really, like, if you want any more proof that you should go get transfers, look at Joe Burrow and Jaden Daniels. But, so Heisman means more. So my number one goal with a bullet for this weekend is for Jaden Daniels to ball out. It sucks. I don't know if he's going to have the time, but it feels like he's got to hit like 400 yards and 4 total tuds. Because that's been the pace that he set all year long. Like, I mean, you can look like, that's unfair. But
no, I'm agreeing with you.
That's the pace.
I think so.
And so that's where I start. That's what I'm going to be watching with nervousness in the pit of my stomach come Saturday. It's not whether they win or lose, but how good is Jaden going to look within the game?
Yeah, and everything that you're saying about the media, everybody that I've had on off campus has kind of agreed. Like there hasn't been many, and everyone that's kind of had a little bit of pushback is typically someone who covers the Big Ten. And then we have the Marvin Harrison Jr. argument. I'm like, guys, I mean, Biletnikov's an argument. Heisman isn't even a conversation. It's just not. But that's kind of right now where they're pushing. But outside of that, it has been Jaden Daniels. And so he does have an opportunity to come out this week. And obviously a game where LSU is going to have a ton of advantages. And how much can he do in this game, right? And the coaches understand what it is. Like, they're not going to be reckless with it, but they understand what T-Bob just said. They understand what a Heisman Trophy would do for this program, right? You had one with Joe Burrow, and now you're in a getting in a stretch of having quarterback play that we just didn't think would be possible at LSU. I mean, it like T-Bob said on Monday, it was a graveyard for quarterbacks, it felt like, for a long time. But now the real momentum that you have at that position, and it's only going to unlock a potential number one recruit, unlock a potential top-tier transfer because of it. And so in multiple stats, I think that actually helps you, right? Multiple stats have developed these quarterbacks. Because it proves that
there's a little power in the soil.
Yes.
Like we talk about. Like, finally, LSU has figured out, oh, my God, we produce incredible skill players. What if we actually ran an offense where we got the ball to these skill players? And you've seen the results firsthand. I mean, think about it. Even our bad years in our warp perspective nowadays would have been incredible years in the darkest of offensive days. And you think about the numbers like even like a Max Johnson put up or whatever. Like, those would have been, remember, we were once championing 2,500, 16 touchdowns and 4 picks from Danny Etling.
Oh, yeah.
That felt like a breakthrough. I was the weirdo that put a sticker on my computer.
Explosive.
It did. It felt great.
You did have the Danny Etling as a good quarterback, didn't you?
Yeah. Which, as I just spent this last commercial break making fun of people who have bumper stickers, laptop stickers, also pretty weird. So, we all go through it.
He clearly started this run of quarterbacks.
It's true.
Etling, then Burrow.
What did you have against?
Well, Danny Etling and Matt Canada.
Against stickers.
Air Canada. What?
Really hating on stickers today.
Well, I mean, who's the last person that you've taken seriously that had a ton of stickers on their laptop?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who have a lot of stickers on their laptop.
Answer the question, bro. That's all I'm saying.
I think Flynn has a My High sticker on his.
I think a lot of people at the SEC network use them.
Oh, PB is sticker fiend.
Like watching SEC tonight or whatever it is, their laptops are full of stickers.
All right. So y'all think it's cool?
I don't think it's cool. I agree with you.
You think it's cool?
I think one sticker. You get one.
But then that just feels random. That's like just putting one bobblehead on the table.
If you cover up like the Dell on this computer or maybe the Apple on your computer.
Well, that's where I had my Danny Etling sticker. I kind of cringe looking back on it. For whatever that.
There are worse stickers to have.
You know my answer. I was the one clowning the van with you during commercial break. So no, I'm out on that.
Yeah.
Man,
also,
stop
putting your social media handle sticker-wise on the back of your vehicles. No one cares.
I gotta go take mine off.
Stop doing that.
The only thing that I will say about the social media handle angle is, it's definitely not for me. It's definitely cringy. But those people are living honest. Like, they're living who they are.
T-Bob, you need to come to
if you do that, you're not putting on airs. Like, you are clearly living who you are being exactly who you want to be in life.
It's always the same guy though out in Livingston Parish. Like, it's the guy with the jacked up truck, and you're behind him at the red light. And he's like, "Follow me on Instagram, Swamp King 78."
Yeah. I mean, what, you don't want to see? You don't want to see reels of badass mud riding? What's wrong with you, Taylor? Come on, let's go mudding, boys. Man, I ain't been mudding in a long time. Tam says my 17-year-old rocks his Insta. That's how they put it on for the ladies. We had to pull over and talk to them. Look, man, that's what I'm saying. You do you. You do you. Live your truth. And to be fair, that same thing is true about bumper sticker people. Like, they are living their truth. Yeah. And there's something to be said for that. They're not hiding that light under a bushel. They're being genuine. They're being honest to themselves. And if I don't agree with that, I can at least appreciate it.
Hey, you let those stickers fly.
I did used to rock a Crescent City Comics sticker on my old
a what?
as well. Crest City Comics, my favorite comic shop ever. In high school, I put a Rockstar Energy
No, you didn't.
sticker on there. Ooh.
Did you have it next to the Apple sticker that came with your iPhone?
Boy, Rockstar Energy.
Ooh.
I used to love to mix beers and Rockstars.
They used to hand those out for free at LSU. Those were good times.
Look, there you go.
I had no idea Rockstar was still a company until
then
just
Taylor
now.
in studio just lifted up a Rockstar can from behind the computer to show us.
This is the only Rockstar I drink. It has like 20 calories in the entire can, and it tastes good. So
no,
like,
there's a lot of good.
Hadn't seen one.
There's a lot of good. I'm using air quotes here. Healthy energy drinks now, right? Like they've done some pretty good job of creating some that don't have sugar. You know, they got
Here,
pretty
let me do
clean
the air
elements
quotes.
in
I
there.
don't think they saw your hand.
Okay, relax.
Air quotes.
Relax. Those things are blimp quotes. I don't know. What would like something bigger be? Get out of here. Whatever. Screw
No,
you.
this one's not bad. 0 sugar, 0 fat, only 2 grams of carbs, 20 calories.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. And enough guarana to kill a horse. Hell yeah, dude. So look, goal number 1 Saturday, Jaden puts up stats. Jaden's going to move on after this season. How do you replace him? We just talked Arch. I don't think it's crazy. I think you pursue it because, again, I think you just amass talent in that room and let the best man win. And how could you disagree when you look at the competition between Burrow and Brennan and both Daniels and Brennan, which may potentially result in 2 Heisman winners? What I do disagree with is somebody said, I don't want Manning. We need to do and look, if you think Manning's good or not, I don't care, right? What like that's just an opinion thing. Somebody said, well, I don't want Manning. We need a dual threat quarterback. And I think that's where you get into trouble, right? Like, I don't think you want to be committed. Now, granted, if I have 2 quarterbacks that I think are equal, but one has better ability on the ground, like obviously you're going to take the guy who has a more complete dynamic package. But I'm not going to just say no to traditional pocket passers out the gate, right? There's no one pathway, no one style to success. You just have to be a very good player within your style.
You talked about it. You were like, it's more impressive if LSU has 2 Heisman winners with 2 different staffs. Burrow could run, but him and Daniels' styles are not exactly super similar. So,
yeah,
like your point, like you're excited. I get it because Jaden Daniels is a dual threat quarterback and he's setting records. Joe Burrow set records and he wasn't a quote unquote dual threat running quarterback. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and Joe could run, right? So that helped him out.
Yeah,
but he's not a dual threat, but he could run. So yeah, if a guy can run, great, awesome. But I'm not going to say no to like a Carson Beck level talent because he can't run out of wet paper bag. And fantastic funky bunch chat says true T-Bob. LSU and Iowa this year, same records. Iowa actually gained better. Completely opposite styles, right? So again, we talk about all the time in this show, but cliches are rooted in homespun wisdom a lot of times. And what is it? There's no one way to skin a cat. I think also that great coaches adapt their system to the player as opposed to the other way around, right?
Yes.
And Tim Brock and Kelly have talked about at length that that's what they do, and they would do that. And I believe them at face value when they say that. So
I think when you see Nuss come in the game, you can tell that.
True.
And Nuss
Very
is
true.
a good athlete, but he's a different player than Jaden Daniels. And going back to Georgia last year, the game plan changed. And it changes every time I think Nussmeier comes into the game. Now, it's not like wholesale changes, but there's minor differences that you can tell it's for each quarterback.
JB says Les Miles always recruited dual threats and didn't let them run or throw. It was a bold strategy. It's a bold strategy.
Yeah, we don't need y'all. Just toss that to us. We don't need y'all quarterbacks. Get out of the way.
It did not work too well, unfortunately. Fonz, I don't understand. We're talking about needing a quarterback. We have Nuss and Collins and Hurley, and then if we get Underwood, that's the thing though, Fonz. Have we not seen time and time again that like it's almost irresponsible just to not bring in a guy? And I would use Ole Miss. They didn't think Jackson Dart was a guy. They bring in Spencer Sanders. They bring in Walker Howard. What does it do with pushing Jackson Dart? He is very now clearly the guy. He's one of the top 10 quarterbacks in America. I doubt he reaches those heights if he didn't feel like he had to work extra hard to get there.
And also, why would you play a young quarterback now if you don't have to play a young quarterback? That quarterback can sit and develop. And look at Carson Beck, right? He sat for a long time.
Yep.
And then he developed, and now he can hit the ground running, and you don't have to go through those struggles. Now, every case is going to be a little bit different, but if you can, have a veteran guy, a veteran presence there, and he's challenging, and then the freshman wins, then look, the freshman wins his job. But
yeah.
I like bringing in an older guy. Don't just rely on a 5-star freshman.
And now Georgia didn't bring in a guy, right?
Nope.
So
they had other very talented 5-star guys on the roster, but no, they decided not to bring in somebody.
they trusted Beck, right? And credit to him, it played out. So if you're coach staff, you can go that route. But if Beck had failed, or even if Beck does go on to fail, probably less so now because he does seem really good, then you're going to have to deal with the criticism, right? So, if you believe in us to the point where you don't need a transfer and you like your quarterback room, okay, more power to you. I'm not going to outright say that is wrong, but you damn sure better be right. Otherwise, you're going to feel like someone who didn't exhaust every avenue to try to get as good as possible.
I would bet LSU is going to be very active in the transfer portal in multiple positions.
I would certainly hope so, right?
Veteran receiver, right? You're losing 2 guys that are going to be NFL draft choices early. Be shocked if they didn't both go. So you're going to need a veteran guy with very talented younger players.
Attractive landing spot for a receiver as well. A
It's
lot of
really
wide receiver success lately.
Yeah. Defense, certainly across the board, edge rusher, safety corner. So you'll be very active in the portal in a lot of spots. Offensive line, you're pretty set. Quarterback's a conversation we can have. Running back could be a conversation, bringing in maybe one veteran player, considering you're going to be losing a couple of guys, 3 guys really. So
O-line?
No, running back.
Oh, running back? Yeah.
O-line,
you're pretty much returning everyone, huh?
Yeah, you're pretty solid right there with who you have coming back.
Yeah.
Tight end too.
Yep, that's true. Hey guys, Adam says, hey guys, I put brewery stickers on my favorite ice chest that I take everywhere. Is it the same thing?
No, hey, you're good. Don't let T-Bob hate on your sticker
No, I am
placement.
the arbiter of cool. But no, I actually, there's been 2 examples pointed out in the chat that I would say play for stickers. And the ice chest's pretty good. I love kind of a stickery ice chest on a beach.
Not only that, you are carrying beers in your ice chest. You're collecting brewery stickers along the way.
Good point.
That plays hand in hand.
It's a great theme. And somebody said, what about stickers on the garage refrigerator? And yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't have a garage fridge. I feel like that's like high ceilings. That's when you're really starting to make it, is when you have a garage fridge. But when I have a garage fridge, that thing will probably be graffitied up, you can put anything on there. Put 10,000 magnets on that thing. Doesn't matter. It's great.
Schedule sticker from 2014. I see a lot of those.
A lot. Yes. Just an old schedule sticker that got slapped up there absentmindedly half a decade ago. Darius Woodard, T-Bob dresses up as a wizard. Who cares about what he says is cool or not? I think you just proved my point. I dress up as a wizard. So of course. What do you? I don't understand.
I'll never forget when you were so jacked up to go in the virtual crowd for the NBA during COVID, and the Pelicans just got smoked, lost by 40. But you were in full wizard costume.
Yeah, that sucked, and the virtual crowd experience sucked. It was so awful. Whatever. They were trying creative things, but it was, God, I hated that.
What a time.
It was kind of fun, first 5 minutes, trying to fist bump people through Zoom, but no, then it was just boring. All right. When we get back here at OTB, let's get into this college football preview. I still do want to talk a little SEC title game. We got Caroline Fenton coming up. Keep it locked. OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
KTOZ window coverings. KTOZblinds.com. K to Z blinds, baby. You want window coverings that wow? You want K to Z. We're talking custom blinds, coverings, plantation shutters, interior, exterior, functional, blackout drapes that also look nice. Maybe for a baby room, a theater room, maybe an outdoor living space. You want to keep the bugs out. You want to keep the sun out. You want to keep the heat out. Look, the point is you take advantage of 25 years of experience at K to Z. They've been doing this 25 years now, y'all. And you bring your home, your room to the next level, both aesthetically and functionally, with the best processes and the best prices. You want K to Z.
Blind, shade, shutters, drapes, interior, exterior, they can do it all, and they're going to do whatever you need for your space. Every space is going to be different, and they have so many options. They can fit your space and your needs will be met. KTZBlinds.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $20,000 off MSRP on new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. $20,000 off plus no payments for 90 days on new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Running Parts Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. And I think we're rocking and rolling.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes.
This Sunday, as we bring you 3 different NFL games, we start with the noon kickoff, the Chargers at Packers. Immediately following that, it's Buccaneers at 49ers, and then the night game, the Vikings and Broncos. Catch all 3 of those games right here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I can't show it, and I see it, I can see it now, but I'm so far below it. Don't wanna talk about it. I say why not? Don't wanna think about it. I say there's got to be some good reason for your little black backpack up smack. Turn around, he's on his back and don't wanna tangle with you. I'd rather tangle with him. I think I'm gonna.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Dylan Pellerin. What T-Bob is really saying, we need to find a way to get Brennan back to compete with our next Heisman quarterback. Yeah, true. We need Miles to come back so that he can push another quarterback to getting good enough to win the Heisman. He's 2 for 2 at this point. That's true. That's like an underrated, you should get more credit for that. Wash Your Mouth says his song is trash.
Well,
you know what? You suck.
Dude, ain't nobody gonna tell me Stroke 9, Little Black Backpack is trash. Shout out to the old Hanging with Hester 6 to 8. This was a staple back
Stroke
on
9.
that show.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great song, dude. Stroke 9. It's me once a day. What T-Bob is saying, T-Bob is a sticker
like
on his minivan that says
6.5.
gaslighting is violence. Hey, bump, come on, give me some. Give me some.
Like 7 carries to Taysom Hill.
Yeah,
That's all you
exactly.
need.
Give me some. Okay, here, I like Champ's version better. More like 9 strokes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, good job, Champ. Chill out. Well done. Get the hell out of here. Take a lap. This is where Champ's going to be like, I love to run, and I'm on testosterone, and I'm so happy now. But actually, it is awesome. Shout out Rejuve Medical. Go check them out today. Again, it's hard to watch the Coach O video and not want to get on the tee. You know what I'm saying? And not being like, I should go get checked out and see. That man is a divine level unit. Ask the bench if Making Money has an OnlyFans. Why doesn't T-Bob? I know. It's a good call. I should.
You probably do pretty good.
People are into hands and feet stuff.
That's true.
I feel like you would be like in a category of your own.
Yeah, but they got for the feed. What is it? We discovered. What was it? Feed Finder.
I'm sure there are plenty of what's the word for feet? Podiatry, like podiatry.
I don't know.
Pediological.
Sure.
I'm sure there are plenty of pediological websites out there. Champ says no more running, just lifting. Oh shoot.
Ooh, okay.
Champ's pretty big. He's probably about to get freaking
Champ.
Pretty huge, dude.
Yeah, the weight room, bro.
Greg
What's
says, I
your
thought you were
bench?
on the TT. I was on the T for a while there. In my late 20s, it was awesome. But then I started having kids, and I just wanted to chill out.
Feels like excellent marketing opportunity with your name being T-Bob.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that
But
seems like a
I figured
blown.
out that they literally told me I had the T of a 70-year-old.
Yeah, the low T-Bob was good yesterday.
Daniel Basham, T-Bob's OnlyFans streams would just be nude miniature painting or nude chess. True. True. Podiatry. So there you go. Podiatry is what I was looking for.
What's Rex Ryan doing these days?
SEC championship, boys. Georgia, Alabama.
Putting his best foot forward.
Who y'all got? What do you think? Give me your breakdown. Give me your opinions. I've talked about it a ton. I've got very codified thoughts on how I would score this one.
So
what do you think, Jake?
This one, probably too soon for some of our listeners. I bet that Georgia on third down against Alabama has a quarterback spy.
Yep. I would say so. I would too. Well, also, Jake hasn't so I was texting with some Alabama friends today, and they were like, I don't agree with all your Alabama Georgia takes because I think that Georgia doesn't get after the passer, right? And they don't get sacks, they don't do this or that. But the thing is, Georgia doesn't try to, right? They just rush 4 the entire time, and they rely on their talent to force you to play underneath them. And I feel like that's an awful matchup for Alabama. That's exactly what Alabama hates.
They have smart rushes too.
Yeah, that's exactly what Alabama hates though this year is teams that are just going to but granted, against most teams that would try to kind of hang back like that, Alabama be talented enough to overwhelm them.
Yeah.
That ain't the case against Georgia. So I feel like it's actually I don't care. Just like I said, I didn't care if LSU got a pass rush on Milroe because it didn't matter anyway. I don't care that Georgia doesn't rush the passer all that much because I think that actually plays into their favor.
Yeah, so when you look at the SEC stats, I mean, they're barely ahead of LSU. 22 sacks to LSU's 20. But if you do watch the tape, I agree with T-Bob. They're bringing 4. They're not bringing a lot of numbers. And they're also, when I say rush smart, they're not just running up the field and creating these lanes. Their defensive tackles aren't, spreading out and giving you a rush lane if you're Jalen Milroe. So it's going to be difficult for Alabama's offense, much more difficult than it has been in recent weeks for this Alabama offense. And so that's going to be an advantage for Georgia, in my opinion. Now you got to go to the other side, Georgia's offense versus Alabama's defense, and how can Alabama slow down all the weapons Georgia has. Georgia does such a great job of spreading the wealth, getting multiple guys involved, and Brock Bowers, I would assume, is going to be fully healthy by the time they get to that game.
Yeah, and yes, I do kind of, if I was a Georgia fan, I'd be a bit concerned maybe about Bowers being pressured because we haven't seen a ton of that this year, and Alabama's certainly capable. But it's not enough for me. Look, the bottom line, is when I look at these two teams, the defenses are basically equivalent. You can maybe score Alabama a bit higher in the front seven, maybe Georgia a bit higher in the back end, but they're so close. I don't even know that I care to have the conversations that much. But there is a clear disparity between the offenses. And I know Alabama's offense is getting better. Again, I do think it's kind of funny that everybody's holding up LSU and Kentucky as the reason why you should be like, oh my God, look at how good they are now.
Yeah.
Like, those are crap defenses, but whatever. But Alabama's certainly getting better. They're still not as good as Georgia. There is a discernible gap there. And at the end of the day, are you telling me you trust Tommy Rees to out-scheme Kirby Smart and his defensive staff to out-scheme that discernible gap? I don't think so. I don't see it. I like Georgia.
Georgia, top defense in the SEC as far as passing yards allowed per game, 183.3. When you look at rush yards, they're second only behind Texas A&M at 107. Yeah. When you look at points given up per game, they are number one in the SEC by a pretty big margin, almost 3 full points.
Well, that's the funniest part. Everybody's like, this Georgia defense actually allows, they're not that good against the run. They're only first, right? It's like they're just being judged, or second, like you said, but they're just being, of course they're being judged off because they're champions.
What they've done
in the past.
And
they should be, and they should be, but also this in the Alabama of the past as well. So, look, I like Georgia. We'll see. You know who we should talk to about it?
Caroline Fenton.
Yeah. The person who hosts the Locked On
SEC
LSU,
Today.
SEC Today on Sirius XM. Let's talk to Caroline Fenton next here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At Corvette Toyota in Opelousas, we're featuring 2023 Toyota Tundras with $2,000 bonus cash. $2,000 bonus cash offer on Toyota Tundras. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvette Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Join me for a Thursday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Rouse's. Chris Blair of the LSU Sports Radio Network will be aboard. Start getting you ready for LSU and Georgia State, plus a preview of LSU's basketball game in Charleston. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's happening? Welcome back to OTB right now. It's time to talk to our girl, Caroline Fenton, Sirius XM 84, talks to SEC. We share a partner in Aaron Murray, and she also does Locked On LSU. Check that out. Middays in Nashville as well. Caroline, what's happening? What's going on?
What's up? How are we doing? As we continue along our incestuous radio guests.
I know. We're all just partner swapping at this point constantly.
Just swingers.
Yeah. But hey, just remember, wear protective headphones. You don't know what could happen otherwise. I mean, the ear is just another orifice through which many things can enter.
Man, you clearly hanging with this guy too much, Caroline.
Let's talk SEC. Bit of a crap slate this weekend, Caroline. I don't know, man. It's really hitting me harder this year because this has also been the year when I've become awakened to the fact that I love the terror and struggle of games that I think my favorite team's going to lose just as much as I love big win. Like, it's so much fun. And so you look at this weekend, basically everybody's chilling. It's kind of lame. It makes me angry. And hopefully in the future, these sorts of games will be eliminated. But that said, you do got Georgia, Tennessee. Bulldogs going into Neyland, 2:30. Going to be a good environment. Can you paint me? I mean, you're in Tennessee. Can you paint me any picture in which the Vols get this done?
No.
Yeah, I know.
really can't. I wish that I could. And I would say the only thing that would give me hope if I'm a Tennessee fan, well, maybe not the only thing, but the biggest thing is the fact that Tennessee plays so much better at home. I don't think that they have lost a game in Neyland Stadium since they played Georgia in Neyland Stadium in the 2021 season.
Wow.
If we look at their schedule this year, like they are really bad on the road. Their only road win so far, I believe, off the top of my head, is at Kentucky. When they played really well against Kentucky after they got just obliterated by Alabama in the second half. But they lose on the road in the Swamp at Florida. And after that game, I'm thinking, is Florida maybe like figuring things out? Could Florida be a good team? And like, no, they're not. They might not even make a bowl game. So Tennessee has looked significantly worse on the road. We saw it this past week against Missouri when they inexplicably could not get anything going offensively, could not stop the run to save their lives, which has been something that Tennessee's been able to do really all season long. So it being at home should give Tennessee fans hope. But if you watched that Georgia Ole Miss game last week, I mean, that made me think, all right, great. Yep, Georgia's the best team in the country. Yep, Georgia's going to three-peat. There is just no weakness on that Georgia team. Tennessee's playing their worst football of the season right now, and Georgia's playing their best.
Let me ask you about the meltdown that you probably had well, the last couple of days because of what Missouri did to Tennessee. And Missouri's a really good football team. I think we all understand that. But Tennessee fans, Caroline, aren't going to, allow that to enter their thought process when they get mad about Missouri and Eli Drinkwitz. And this is a 6-win football team beating you like they did. Like, how has it been this week talking Tennessee after they lost like they did to Mizzou?
I think it's equally just swallowing the tough realization that, hey, Joe Milton's just not necessarily the guy, which I don't necessarily agree with. Like, I didn't think Joe Milton played a terrible game. Like, if you just look at the box score, like, he wasn't the reason why they lost that football game. They lost that football game because their defense couldn't get a stop and they couldn't get the run game going.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of been a feeling that's been growing all season long with Tennessee fans of, we know what this offense can be with a really good quarterback, and Joe Milton just isn't it. And I think the second thing is just, man, like, Tennessee fans have been so used to not just beating Missouri, but blowing the tires off of Missouri. Last season, they beat Missouri 70-5, something like that, like something absolutely ridiculous. They threw backups in and continued to run up the score. I think Missouri took that personally. I think that Missouri team has kind of taken the identity on of, we've got a chip on our shoulder. It's us against the world. And you can tell, you can tell even when they were playing at Georgia, even in a loss, they kind of took on that blue collar mentality. Against Tennessee, like, it was very much so personal. Even when Eli Drinkwitz said, we stand on business, Josh. I have no idea what that means.
That's from a Drewski meme that's been making the rounds this last week. But anyway, continue.
Is that what that means? I've been trying to decipher that all week long.
Yeah, I believe so. Unless it just happens to correlate, and he's just saying that they stand on business.
No one drink like I do.
Yeah,
that's exactly where it came from.
He said they stand on business. It's the new Drewski video. I love Drewski. Yeah, Caroline, I didn't realize this. Yeah, Tennessee beat in Como 2 years ago, 62-24, then 66-24, and then Mizzou comes back this year, 36-7. Sheesh. Caroline, is Eli Drinkwitz Coach of the Year, SEC?
So there's a really good case for Eli Drinkwitz to be Coach of the Year. How could he not? I mean, Missouri's been perpetually a 6-6, 7-5 team in recent history, and now Missouri's looking at probably being 10-2 and being a top 10 team in the country. How do you not, give your proper accolades to a coach that's been able to turn things around? But honestly, and this sounds so icky to say, I think it's Nick Saban.
No, shut up. I knew you were about to carry that water. Get the hell out of here. Take a lap.
This is
the
the best
Why in the world?
Job of
the best
his
coaching
career.
job. Guys, he has more than 4 or 5 stars on the roster than any team in America. What are we talking about? I'm so sick of this crap.
Fewer 4 and 5 stars than he's had. They almost lost to South Florida, T-Bob. We didn't even know who their quarterback was going to be just a few months ago.
So what y'all are telling
Jalen
me?
Milroe turns around, scores 6 touchdowns against Kentucky this past week.
Oh, once again, we're using Kentucky as the vault to say something good.
T-Bob hates Kentucky.
Well, I think my point has been proven to you two, Poops lovers, throughout the year. No, get out of here. I reject this notion vociferously, emphatically, and wholeheartedly. This idea that because Alabama underachieved, Nick Saban should be Coach of the Year. Miss me with that BS.
I disagree.
Infinitely more impressive what Eli's done. Infinitely more impressive what Lane Kiffin has done. Getting Ole Miss potentially to 10 wins again in the regular season.
Is impressive. Very much so.
Nick
And
Saban.
I don't know why, because I think whenever we have the conversation about SEC Coach of the Year, I think the names that have been thrown out in all the conversations that I've had are Drink, Saban, and Kirby. Lane has never really been a name that's been thrown out, and I don't know why.
He's about to win 10 games in the regular season. That never happened ever before in Ole Miss history. He did it 2 years ago. He's about to do it again after coming off an epic collapse last season.
Got the biggest win of his career so far at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Beating LSU.
Yep.
Hey, let's
A&M,
stop talking.
A&M 3 years in a row. Got Jimbo fired, essentially.
Well, maybe, but let's stop talking about Ole Miss and their success. I want to ask Caroline about Jaden Daniels and his Heisman Trophy opportunities here. What's the conversation like in Tennessee? Because obviously, we're in Baton Rouge, and even on the other shows that T-Bob and I do, it's been a lot of Jaden Daniels as the front runner. The only people I talk to that really have another name is anybody that covers the Big Ten. They're trying to throw Marvin Harrison Jr. out there. What about in Tennessee? Who's the front runner for y'all as y'all talk about Heisman Trophy?
Like, get out of here with Marvin Harrison Jr.
I agree.
I don't even know if he should be the front runner for the Biletnikoff, much less
Agree.
the Heisman
Yeah.
Trophy. But the conversation here in Tennessee, I think for a majority of this season, when I've been banging on the table for Jaden Daniels Heisman, I think they've always looked at me like, okay, you LSU homer.
Right.
After that Florida game, everyone has been like, okay, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, like 3
Yeah.
losses, be damned. Who cares about the 3 losses? Jaden Daniels can't play defense. This kid is the most electric player in college football. He just did something that no one has ever done in the history of college football. Don't try and tell me that he should not be awarded the trophy for the best player in college football. It doesn't go to the best player on the best team or the quarterback on the best team. It goes to the best individual player in college football. And Jaden Daniels really has carried LSU. I had this conversation yesterday. Let's put not Jaden Daniels in at quarterback at LSU. Let's put average quarterback in at LSU. You probably don't beat Arkansas. You don't beat Missouri. You don't beat Florida. LSU might be looking at a 6-6, 7-5 season without Jaden Daniels. That, to me, might speak more volumes than LSU's actual record.
Yeah, no, look, I'm in complete agreement. I mean, he acquitted himself very well in those losses, and no other Heisman candidate has faced the gauntlet that he has. I mean, basically 4 top 10 road games.
True.
Yeah.
One of which that you won. Granted, the 1-3 doesn't feel great, but like nobody else has been tested that consistently or in that way. So, yeah, missed me with that. Missed me with that even harder than, or maybe less hard than you should miss me with any Saban Coach of the Year takes, Caroline. If I hear you say that on Sirius XM radio, I'm going to call in a bomb threat and get the show canceled.
Okay, yeah.
I've
For
said
the
it
day.
before, and I'm going to say it even harder.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I think Doran
Best
might be in that same
coaching
group
job.
too.
So
Nick
okay,
Saban's
yeah,
career.
okay. So them and Doran. Oh, so I get it. So Sankey calls up the media partners and is like, "Hey guys, look, here's the agenda." Okay, I understand. It makes sense now. It makes sense now. Because we
The
all need to be
commissioner's
carrying water
agenda.
for Nick Saban because we just don't know how good of a coach he is. I hate that.
I said it feels icky. Like, I get it. I understand. It feels gross. But I thought that Alabama was going to be an 8-4 team this year after what we saw against Texas. Now they might go to the college football playoff.
Yeah, you know why? Because their roster is 89% 4 and 5 stars. A lot of coaches could affect some pretty good improvement if you had the best players every weekend. Sorry, Caroline. You're catching a lot of pent up frustration from me right now. I apologize.
No, I get it. You're president of the Eli Drinkwitz fan club.
I like
get
Drink.
it.
This is not even
Yeah,
as
Drink
much
is
of a
great.
drink. Well, it is also because, yes, he is doing more with less. Okay. All Saban did was finally get what he should have been getting out of this team from the beginning. That's what I would say. But I'm sorry that we had to end on such an aggressive note.
Could have gotten out of this team the whole time. Is he?
Yeah. They're They're better than everybody they play. Bottom line. Look at their defense. Look at how many NFL players are on their
I will
defense.
also say stars don't always matter. Jimbo Fisher's got a lot of those 4 and 5 star guys as well, and he's at home.
But Jimbo
That's
sucks.
why he lost his job.
Go look. Okay.
Well, you can't say Jimbo sucks.
Okay. I can now. He was awesome for a time. He sucks now. That's clear. He lost 9 games in a row. He's under 500 against the Power 5 last 3 years. What are we talking
Right,
about?
I'm saying, but you made it sound like anybody could coach 4 and 5 stars. Jimbo could.
Yeah, I think most people can. Okay. Who are the 3 teams ahead of Jimbo on the talent breakdown?
Probably Georgia and Alabama.
And Ohio State.
Okay.
So Jimbo's the exception, not the rule. Get the hell out of here, Nick Saban. I'm sorry, Caroline. You have a great day. Thank you for coming on.
We didn't even get to Jimbo or Mississippi State.
No, I know.
Oh.
And we're going to have like a minute left on the other side.
Thanks, Caroline.
Thank you, Caroline.
She hung up on you.
I mean, dude, am I wrong? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Why the hell are we going to give Nick Saban coach of the year over Eli Drinkwitz? If Drinkwitz goes top 10 and 10-2.
We could discuss.
I mean, you know that I won't drink. Like I'm team drink.
We'll burn down college football.
I am too, but there's something to be said for Alabama's improvement. I kind of agree with Caroline. We can discuss it on the other side.
No, we can't because we have a minute because everybody's stupid and making me go long. All right, closing out hour 2 when we get back.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Noel Family Distillery. I love Noel. Chip and Natalie. been working for years to create these bold spirits, exquisite taste. And look, man, you are now the benefactor of years of hard work and overcoming adversity. That's why the Louisiana tree frog is a logo. Did y'all know the Louisiana tree frog's not only the official amphibian of Louisiana, but it's known for its perseverance, its hard work, its dedication. These are all traits that are defined by our friends over there at Noel. So stop supporting Texas and Austin and all the, you know what? Get your vodka, get your tequila, get your rum, get your anything from Noel Family Distillery right out of Donsville, Louisiana. Okay, and go check out the distillery as well. It's very cool, man. Noel Family Distillery. Buy from the boot. Let's effing go, boys. Noel Family Distillery.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford is taking $10,000 off MSRP on all new 23 Ford F-150 Black Widow trucks, plus $2,750 discount APR and 5.9% for 72 months. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
It was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps are held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Running Bart's marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Board's marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Step inside an Infiniti QX50, and you'll find a suite of driver-focused features tailored to your tastes. But most of all,
Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Brian Kelly meets with reporters one more time before the Georgia State game. We'll chat with Mike Triplett and our Fantasy Blitz. 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
So Caroline said she did not hang up on us. And she said, I live for this, with hand clap emojis in between. So she ain't scared of it.
Sorry, Caroline. Time constraints.
She ain't scared
Oh,
of
no.
fight.
I mean, when we went toe-to-toe like 2 media days ago, I forget which teams we were even arguing, but no. I mean, look, you're a little spicy. That's good.
I mean, this again, I feel like this isn't opinion. I feel like this is fact.
The better conversation, T-Bob, is honestly National Coach of the Year. Even more so than SEC Coach of the Year. National Coach of the Year becomes real interesting.
I mean, I'm sure. I'm trying to think who I would go off the top of my head. I mean, if John Smith if John Smith wins the Pac-12 and has 2 losses at Oregon State, right? Like, is he the National Coach of the Year? If Dan Lanning has 1 loss or Kalen DeBoer, like, yeah.
What about Jeff Brom at Louisville?
Yeah, for sure.
Top 10 team.
If they win the ACC. Or even Mike Norvell. Undefeated
Mike Norvell's
Florida
up
State.
there.
Yeah, for sure.
Jed Fish at Arizona is up there.
If he would have won
top
for 2
15 team or right on the verge.
USC, he'd have it in the bag.
Which one? What?
The Arizona coach, had he gone for 2 and they beat USC, he'd really have it in the bag.
Oh, I forgot that they had the chance to go for 2 and they didn't.
Yeah.
Damn.
Look at their losses and look at how they've played, man. They've been in like every game.
Here's the big question about Heisman, T-Bob. If Jaden wins, will be in the Heisman house. I would think for sure.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
It's true. No Joe in the Heisman house, huh?
No, but he has I heard why Nissan sponsors it. He has a partnership with another car brand or something like that.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. It's like an Ohio-based
I just
company.
thought it was like Joe being like, nah, fam. That actually makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Patient Plus Urgent Care, because why would you be like, nah, fam? You get to go like film with like Barry Sanders and like other stuff like that. It's probably awesome. Patient Plus Urgent Care, patientplusuc.com. How about Urgent Care of the Year? You know? SEC Urgent Care of the Year. Patient Plus wins once again. Go look at the facilities, y'all. There's one by you. They're constantly open up all over the place. You got the new Patient Plus membership, where it's a flat fee, you can pay per month, or it's a flat fee for a year, where you get 10% off, and you get unlimited visits. And if you even go twice, you're already coming out ahead, y'all. They got great family rates as well. Patient Plus UC, Patient Plus Urgent Care, patientplusuc.com.
Get in and get better.
His name was King. He had a horse along the countryside. I saw him ride. One day they found him.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. on Thursday, November 16th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 69. Coming up on OTB, we have a new edition of Big Deal or No Big Deal, and Chef Michael Johnson joins the show at 9:15 for a new edition of Munchies. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel and subscribe. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? What's welcome? Welcome back to OTB, hour number 3. Getting fired up here in this Thursday. Got Chef Michael Johnson and Munchies coming up here in about 15. Next segment. Bilbo Baggins asked the bench, what's weirder, furries or OTB haters who listen to the show in the shadows?
Probably the latter. If you're a furry, you're at least enjoying something, spreading positivity.
but also though, there is nothing more normal. There's like almost nothing more normal than hate listening in this business, right?
Yeah.
Like how Howard Stern made his name. Like people just love to. I mean, everybody complains about Stephen A. and First Take, but they are the highest rated show of that window and of that ilk. So
I definitely think furries is weirder.
Probably, but it is kinder as well.
Yeah.
Have you seen a furry in person, Taylor?
No. I've not in person.
Dressed up as an adult Scooby-Doo with a dildo strapped to his forehead. In a secret back room at the House of Blues.
Was it Scooby-Doo themed?
No, it looked like it was a pretty debaucherous Halloween party. Okay. So maybe not technically a furry, honestly, because that wasn't his persona as much as it just was a sexualized costume.
Yeah, a furry is like full mask, everything.
Well, it's your persona. You know, you want to live as that animal.
Yeah, see,
actually, there's that Shane Gillis bit about the military dogmen.
Yeah.
Have you seen those? That I went into a hole in that guy's Twitter one day. Crazy Twitter. Crazy Twitter. Dude's jacked, but gets into some weird stuff.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like when you say what's weirder, furries or doesn't really matter. I'm probably going furries.
Furries or bronies. Adult males who love My Little Pony. Like love My Little Pony.
Do they dress like My Little Pony?
Yeah, I mean they can get, a little out
They're
there.
infinitely more diabolical than furries.
Bronies?
Yeah, but weirdness, like just like.
But like also bronies
furry.
are pretty rooted in love. Like all My Little Pony's about is the power of friendship.
I may still go furry.
Either way, I like both. Weird, yes, but kind as well. I would take the kindness of the furries and the bronies over the hate listeners.
Hell yeah.
But just know here on OTB, this is safe space for your persona. So if you want to live your best life, what animal would y'all be if you decided to throw your lot in with the furries? I've always felt like a hippo, but I think it's a hard costume to pull off. I think I'd just be a big old bear.
I was thinking wolf. Seems kind of easy to pull off.
Yeah,
maybe.
for sure.
Yeah, it's like a tiger or cheetah, something with stripes.
Okay. Jake? Where'd Jake go?
Where did Jake go?
Jake's not even on set anymore. I don't know I haven't seen him in like 5 minutes. If you're listening on the radio, Jake disappeared somewhere about 3 or 4 minutes ago and has yet to come back.
Man.
All right. Let's get into a little big deal or no big deal.
Big deal. Ain't no big deal.
Big deal. No big deal. Big deal.
No big deal. No big deal.
No big deal.
or no big deal. So Liberty tweets out that the coaching show for Liberty will be moved to Wednesday. Jamie Chadwell, Liberty's head coach, then quote tweets it and says, "See you there." However, in a hilarious cyber surfing twist, he forgets to turn off geolocation on his Twitter, and the "see you there" tweet comes from where, boys? Starkville, Mississippi. Big deal or no big deal? Head coach of the 10-0 Liberty Flames tweeting about his coach's show from Starkville right as Zach Arnett's being fired.
I think
Zach Arnett announced afterwards as well, right? Or was it already done before? I'm trying to remember the timing here. Like, did Zach Arnett just become official, or did we already know it when he tweeted that?
No, we knew when. Yeah.
Okay.
We already knew.
I'm getting my wires crossed.
I think it's a gigantic deal. This is someone who is 108-57 in his head coaching career. What he did at Coastal Carolina, he got them to be a top 15 football team. He's had success at every level at North Greenville, Charleston Southern, Coastal, and now at Liberty where they're 9-0. Now, it's not going to be easy. Liberty has those deep pockets with 3 E's in the middle. We know about that. But if Mississippi State gets Jamie Chadwell, that will be literally like one of the best hires in recent memory.
Well, so you look, he takes over a 3-9 Coastal he takes over Coastal as they're entering the Sun Belt. Remember who bet on him? Who gave him the job? Biff Poggi, the legend. They go 3-9, 5-7, then 11-1, 11-2, and 9-3. Then he goes to Liberty. They're 10-0. And to Jake's point, what do we always say? If you're going to be at a school like Starkville, where did Zach Arnett just inexplicably screw up so awfully? He tried to be like, we're going to be a traditional power, base team, and we're just going to out-talent people. What? Like, why did Mike Leach have success? Scheme. You're going to scheme your ways to win. Jamie Chadwell is a leading offensive theorist with his more pass-heavy pseudo triple option attack.
Yep.
That is exactly he can punch up. Yeah, I agree with Jake. This would be a home run hire. Taylor, I know you wanted to mention Grayson McCall's stats.
Yeah, and look, I've been a Grayson McCall fan for about 3 years now. I just always thought he was pretty underrated, and he's still having a decent year. I mean, he's 67% completion, but listen to this. From 2020 to 2022, so 3 seasons, Grayson McCall only threw a total of 8 interceptions. He has 10 touchdowns, 6 picks this year.
Yeah. How many touchdowns to go with those 8 during those 3 years?
26-3 in 2020. 27-3 in 2021. 24-2 in 2020.
So, and again, this is not gimmicky.
79 or something?
This is not me gimmicky offense. This means a scheme that is a little bit different. It gives you advantages because you're never going to recruit on the same level as the guys that you go against every single week in the SEC, like in Alabama, LSU, Georgia, Auburn, whoever it might be. So a scheme is so important in a place like Starkville where you can have some advantages.
Well, and not only that, Jake, you were talking earlier about like Zach Arnett not fitting the scheme to go with his players.
Yeah.
Do you know why Grayson McCall had so much success right when he got there? Because he ran almost the exact same offense when he was in high school. Jamie Chadwell noticed that. He recruited him, and he put almost the exact same offense in when Grayson McCall got there, and that's why he had instant success. That's what good coaches do.
But now he has proven to have success. Like, who's his quarterback this year? It's I'll look it up in 2 seconds because he is the only name that's up there with Jackson Dart and Jaden Daniels and all the other quarterbacks on all the national numbers. Caden Salter, 10 yards per attempt, 26 touchdowns, 4 picks, 4th in the country in passer rating.
Look, you say 26 touchdowns, 4 picks. That's about what McCall did. I think so. He's doing it with 2 different quarterbacks.
Chadwell would be a home run hire. I even think A&M should take a look at him. I doubt they will, but that the massive deal for Starkville if they get him.
Yeah, I think it would be a bigger deal if A&M got him, but we'll see.
If A&M got who?
Chadwell. Like, he could have more success there than
And I want to come back to this. I think A&M thinks they're too good for Jamie Chadwell.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's why I think Mississippi State has a real opportunity to make maybe the best coaching hire in this because they realize who Jamie Chadwell is. A&M, I think, will look over Jamie Chadwell.
No, I agree. I think it's just what Mario's saying. Like, if you give Chadwell that much talent, then it's like, sheesh, what could he do with that?
Yeah.
Like that many resources. Feels like he'd be pretty awesome.
Exactly. I feel he'll be good at Mississippi State, but not
I don't want to
good.
see that man at A&M if I'm an LSU fan.
By the way, the quarterback for Liberty with the stats that you just rolled out there with Hugh Freeze last year, he averaged 6.9 yards an attempt. This year, 11.8. He had 8 touchdowns to 5 interceptions last year. He has 26-4 this year. His quarterback rating has gone up 51 points.
Man, the only thing that would suck for Aaron would be if Aaron Murray would be if Chadwell goes there and Will Rogers stays. Aaron Murray's record
He's
to
done.
be trouble once again.
Oh, yeah, they're
Even
done.
though Will probably can't run well enough.
Yeah, I think
run that.
I think Will probably go.
He'll have to transfer.
There's been a couple of disciples from that Mike Leach tree that were there that have gone other places. So
Will Rogers to Wisconsin.
Dairy Raid.
Dairy Raid.
Could be big. Speaking of big deal or no big deal, Jaden Daniels gets the Senior Bowl invite yesterday. So Jim Nagy in town yesterday passes that out to Jaden Daniels, and it could be a good opportunity for Jaden Daniels to go to Mobile. Remember, now it's no longer just seniors. If you declare for the draft, you can play in an all-star game.
Yeah.
So these rosters are going to look a little bit different. I think it's a big step for Jaden Daniels.
I think it's a big win for both parties.
Yep.
If he ends up playing, for sure. No big deal in that, like, of course Jaden Daniels is going to get invited, but I'm excited, and I hope that him and Jim team up and get to shine together.
Yeah, I mean, it would help both parties. I'm not sure how much it would help Jaden. I think he's already done a lot for himself.
But
he's trying to push late
he's trying
first.
to push,
He's trying to push
he's
into
trying
that
to push
late
into that
first.
first round.
And that's not a bad way to do it if you go out there and you ball in front of NFL coaches with a bunch of randoms.
Yep.
What you got?
Me first. You didn't want to comment on the
No,
Jaden Okay. Big deal or no big deal, I lost a tweet because I'm a buster. As of yesterday, Jordan Hawkins, 32 three-pointers in his first 11 games of his career. That is the most in NBA history.
Massive deal.
Yes, the most in NBA history.
Anytime you say most in NBA history in a positive way, big deal.
Yes.
Yeah, that's insane.
And it's crazy to think he wouldn't be getting the playing time if Murphy and Alvarado weren't out. So that's a good thing for the Pelicans through all the injuries.
Also, what was the thing that you linked the other day in the group text where it was talking about like 26-point games or something?
Yeah, he as of yesterday was tied with Wemby for the most 25-point games amongst all rookies. So he's making the Rookie of the Year case. But I put up a tweet yesterday retweeting that stat, saying that the Pelicans needed shooting. They draft the clear-cut best shooter in the draft. Good things happen. Life is very complex, but at times it is very simple. So that worked out for the Pelicans.
Yeah,
I think it's a big deal. I mean, we were talking about it on the eve of the draft, and it was almost unanimous in this room. Like, there is such an obvious pick to take in the middle of the first round, and it was Jordan Hawkins. And then he's pretty much had the green light as a rookie since he stepped foot in training camp day one. You don't really see that a lot, and I mean, he's taking advantage of it. He kind of looks like their best bench player right now.
Yeah, this sounded dumb to say before he played any minutes in the NBA, but his game is more conducive to the pros than it was in college. There's a lot more spacing. He's not just an elite shooter, but he moves really, really good off the ball, and he's benefiting from that more in the NBA than he did at UConn, where he was really good and a champion. So it's like a perfect
He
fit.
mentioned that, didn't he talk about there's so much more space here in the NBA. In college, every time I called it, I was contested.
Yes, and he is not afraid to shoot that thing.
Yeah. Big
Can't be.
Yeah, like I know Zion and B.I. are going to dominate the conversation as they should, but the role players that the Pelicans have drafted, specifically the last 3 years, should make you really excited about the future of the team.
I agree.
Big deal or no big deal, Oregon State and Washington State are inching closer to agreeing to a 2-year football scheduling alliance with the Mountain West. The model would have Mountain West teams play 7 conference games plus 1 game against Oregon State or Washington State.
No big deal.
Oh, wow.
I feel for them, but the Pac-2 playing the Mountain West.
Yeah, the Mountain West doesn't really
They
do
need
it.
to go. They need
do
to
it
change
for
the
me.
name from Pac-12 to 2-Pac.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Right?
Now that is good.
That's what they need to do.
Now that is good. Yes, absolutely.
All right, big
And then
deal or
once you
no
get
big
it back up to 10, you call it X-Pac.
Yeah, exactly.
Big deal or no
2
big
words
deal.
for you.
That's
Cleveland.
what you can do.
I do that all the time, man.
Whoa.
Every
Whoa.
celebration.
Hey now,
Every
I ain't scared.
celebration.
You talking about? I ain't scared.
On Wednesday, the Cleveland Browns announced that their franchise quarterback Deshaun Watson will undergo season-ending surgery to repair his throwing shoulder. He's only played in 12 games since he's been there, partially due to suspension, and he's been injured all year. This is a guy with $230 million guaranteed. Big deal or no big deal?
Well, okay, so first off, Deshaun and Jimbo are living my dream. Second off, it's a big deal in that he is screwing over the NFLPA's fight for fully guaranteed contracts. I mean, somebody finally gets it. A big one, fully guaranteed, and it could not have gone worse. Like, even Kirk Cousins at least was fulfilling a lot of that fully guaranteed 87 milli, like, to the point where I don't think it was like a net negative on the situation. But Deshaun Watson is giving teams ample leverage and reason to hesitate when it comes to giving somebody fully guaranteed deals.
I think, I mean, it's a big deal because of just the money in Deshaun Watson, but the play hasn't really had
it's not a big deal for the Browns.
Change, yeah.
No, I agree with that.
Right.
I agree with that. It's not a big deal for
the Browns are a defensive football team that's going to run the football. That's who they are. Like, it hasn't really changed. P.J. Walker or Deshaun Watson because he hasn't been that good. So I don't think it's really going to be that much of a difference. It's crazy to say with the money that they're paying him, but I don't think it's going to be that big of a difference in who they are. They're going to win 10 games, get to the postseason, probably lose the first game.
How does it make you feel, though, as a former NFL guy, knowing that, everybody wants fully guaranteed contracts like these other sports? I just feel like this is a massive step back.
Well, that's why you don't have fully guaranteed contracts, because it's a violent sport.
Yeah.
It's a violent sport in which you're going to get injured way more than you are. I say way more. I mean, I'm sure there's some analytics behind it where pitchers and Tommy John and all that, but it's a violent sport, and that's why for a long time you didn't get guaranteed contracts.
Me and Mario were talking about it before the show. It's kind of a little wink from the football gods because Baker tried to play through his shoulder injury. He didn't play well. They moved on from him, gave Deshaun Watson $230 million, and now he's sitting out because of a shoulder injury that requires surgery. Also, you think that's funny? Guess who their backup quarterback was that they traded right before the season? Joshua Dobbs.
Joshua Dobbs, yeah.
So now they have to start Dorian Thompson-Robinson, who beat out Joshua Dobbs.
Dobbs zeitgeist, dude.
Yeah. So they could have had Josh Dobbs filling in, but they traded
P.J.
him
Walker
away.
signed a pretty big backup quarterback deal with the Bears, and he got beat out by Vagant, and then he ends up in Cleveland.
Wait, so what happened to P.J. Walker, though? You're saying that DTR is going to start?
DTR is starting, yes.
Because he's back healthy. P.J. Walker only got
Walker's the third guy. He was playing because of injury.
Okay,
Walker was originally with Chicago.
For some reason, I thought I remember DTR falling off.
Yeah.
I mean, he did a little bit.
Sorry. I was trying to catch up on this LSU women's basketball drama. We can't talk about it on the air. I'm still trying to find out exactly what's going on. But
I will say real quick.
All right, one more, then let's get to Munch.
Real quick, because Brandon Hansworth said something about the Senior Bowl allowing juniors defeats the entire purpose of the game in a week. There's a lot of people saying the same thing. It's all All-Star games, Brandon. It's not just the Senior Bowl. But I did ask Jim that question yesterday when I talked to him, because I had kind of some of the same feeling. Like when you're a senior and like Badgett, who was a Division II player, got an opportunity that maybe a guy like that doesn't get it. But he said they are still going to be senior heavy. He said 80-20.
Plus,
said 80-20 kind of split.
You're just being too married to the title. It's always just been an all-star game. Like back in the day, juniors weren't coming out that much anyway. You know what I'm saying?
And a lot of times if a junior comes out, well, they come out early because they know, well, LSU's had some that have made some weird decisions, but if they come out early, it's because they know they're going to be drafted high, so they don't play in any all-star game.
Yeah.
So.
All right, let's go to Chef Michael Johnson. Munchies coming up next. Keep it locked, OTB.
OTB, OT.
All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. I love All-Star Toyota. You will too. When you look at the deals, the people, sales staff, service staff, rentals, whatever you need, man, there's always good vibes when I go in there, and that's because their customers are consistently satisfied. Because, again, you get things like a Toyota certified used vehicle where it's a great deal because it's used, but you still get that excellent Toyota warranty coverage where your car's going to be like, hey, I need to be serviced. You bring it in, the service department gets you taken care of, and a lot of times you don't even open your wallet. There's a reason why I now have not one but two murdered out minis in my fleet, and that's because All-Star Toyota. I love them. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.com.
Go to that website and find all the new vehicles they have available for you. Something for everyone. The Corolla, the Prius, the Sequoia, if you're looking for that full-size SUV, the murdered out Mini, like T-Bob talks about. Highlander's what we drive around town. Check it out online, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Life in Louisiana is a song. A symphony of sound, colors, and movement. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency.
Join us for the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch. We are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar and Town Square Pizza. Paul Nolan will give us an opinion on Thursday night's game, plus Matt Humans and Dwayne Colucci. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. weekdays.
Hester and T-Bob, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, welcome back into OTB. It is that time here on a Thursday morning. Our guy, Chef Michael Johnson, joins us now for your Munchies questions. Chef, how you doing, and how was that gator on Sunday?
Man, it was good. That bacon wrapped gator was something else, man. They did a number on that thing. Yeah, so we bought that from one of Chase's buddies, and they wrapped it and stuffed it and brought it to us, man. And it went over like gangbusters, dude. It turned out well.
All right, so I've got to ask, obviously, a place like LSU, you've got players from across the country. A lot are from here, in, local, Louisiana, Southeast, Texas, whatever. But was everybody, okay with eating the gator? Because if you're not from here, that might be something that's a little unique.
I saw that football posted a picture of it, and there was some negative response to it. And I think it's just that people don't understand that it actually is a food source down here, and that tons of people eat it. And I understand that, but once you see that it's a food source, and it's a nutritious food source as well. It's a clean, lean meat, and it tastes good. It's kind of a neutral flavor, similar to chicken or pork or turkey or something like that. And you can also impart, marinate it or impart flavors onto it. Well, one of the challenges of gator is that it is lean, and so in order to, that's why they bacon wrapped it, right? It kind of self-bastes as you bake, and so. When Chase and I smoked the gator outside a couple of years ago, we had to come out and continuously baste it with oil. Like we chopped garlic and peppers, and you have to do that every 30 minutes in order to prevent it from drying out. So,
what were some of the responses? Just because they don't understand how delicious gator is?
Yeah, it was. I think that it was just surprised. I think that they felt like it was a creature, like a dog or a cat or something.
No.
Yeah, right.
It's not a pet. Even though some people in Louisiana try to make it a pet, it is not a pet.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. As a matter of fact, if you put a human being in the water and versus the gator, that sucker is well prepared to do its own damage. So,
yes.
Yeah.
Chef, I apologize. I'm not entirely sure what I missed.
There he is.
But, yep.
Just talking gator.
Hashtag munchies. What's your favorite form of rice?
I have a few. We have a high protein rice that we use from Parish Rice, and it's interesting because it's low glycemic index, so it's safer for diabetics to eat, and it's super hearty. It tolerates a lot more stress. Takes a little bit longer to cook, but it tolerates a lot of stress beating it up, just in the cooking process and holding and stuff. But I really love jasmine rice. I like the smell of jasmine rice, right? Or even basmati, kind of similar. But I like those floral, rices that have really nice smell.
Hashtag munchies. Give me your number one turkey tip heading into Turkey Week.
I'm always, and I mean always, going to brine my turkey. It's a super lean meat. It can dry out super easy. Yeah, I've seen more turkeys get abused than I have seen turn out properly. So, that brining process is integral. It helps retain moisture. You can impart flavor on it if you want. It's a game changer. So I'm always going to brine a turkey.
Chef, there's challenges for Thanksgiving because you mentioned obviously the turkey ham is going to be the main dish there, but there's so many side dishes for Thanksgiving. Everybody has their favorite side dish, and you end up cooking, it feels like 8 to 10 of them, and you got bread as well. You got all these things going on at once. What's the best advice maybe for planning out to make sure everything gets done the way it should get done?
Gosh, that's a tough question, Jake. For me, if I'm going to somebody's house, I'm making something that I like because I don't know the integrity of the chefs that are bringing food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I'm partially joking there.
So what are you bringing then? What are you bringing to that party?
Yes, I'm a mashed potatoes or green bean casserole guy.
Okay.
It's not. I'm going to take the easy route out. Don't hold it against me, but I can execute some mashed potatoes like nobody's business and show up and they'll rave and be like, oh my gosh, those are the best mashed potatoes, and it be done. I can make mashed potatoes with my eyes closed, man. When I was working for Philippe Carolla, I swear to God, I spent 2 years being the potato guy, and so
sounds like it was educational but maddening.
Yeah, well, it was a lot of things. If I screwed something up, go make potatoes. Yeah.
Oh no! It just became okay. Now you're back on potatoes.
Oh yeah. You could be demoted back to potatoes anytime you did something wrong. So.
Hashtag munchies. Bilbo says, I'm smoking both a brisket and 2 pork butts for my daughter's birthday at the same time. How will I need to adjust my cooking time and temperature?
I don't adjust my temperature. I smoke at 187 degrees, and I smoke it long. So the brisket's going to smoke.
Brisket,
everything.
but okay, cool.
Yep. The rubs I would adjust to the seasoning of your liking. But the pork butts, unless you cut them down to where it's a similar thickness as the brisket, it's going to take longer because a pork butt's 6 to 8 inches thick and a brisket, 4 to 6 inches thick. So you have to adjust those times accordingly. The brisket can go on first. I'm sorry, the pork butt can go on first if you're putting it on whole, or you split it so that it's only 4 inches thick. If you could theoretically you could cook them the same amount of time if you cut them down to similar thicknesses so that it had the same cook through process. Otherwise, you need to put your pork butts in for probably 4 hours longer. 18 hours, I think which should be good, and a brisket 12 ish, somewhere in there. You could probably get it done in 14 with the pork butt, but I like to cook at 18 and nice and low.
Hashtag Munchies, what is Chef's preferred grape and region for red wine?
I like Syrah. I like Petite Syrah. I kind of like those medium bodies from Australia or Argentina. I don't like too dry of a red wine, man. The headache and the sore throat are just too much for me, man.
Isn't the dry? Is that tannins? Is that when I hear people
Tannins.
say tannins
That's
that
it.
lead to the dryness? Yeah.
Yeah. So the darker red wines are also, those dry red wines are also more acidic, and they act with those tannins, and as those tannins act as an abrasion, the acid irritates it. So.
Yeah, no tannins in cold Coors Light. Hashtag Munchies. Advice on taking the Thanksgiving mac and cheese to the next level.
Oh man, I like you said it. I thought it. And it's Gouda. Something like that, like a really bougie, soft cheese that melts in. We've done some like chev, or like just goat cheese, something soft, or if you Boursin, which is kind of it's like a triple cream cheese that has herbs and spices in it. It's super fatty, so you don't want to put it in while the mac and cheese is real hot. But once it's cooled down to the point where you can eat it, 140 degrees, you can mix that Boursin cheese in and make it super, super rich. You're also going to be in for a nap, but it's really
Sounds
flavorful
amazing.
for sure.
I like this joke. Spencer P says, "Why is this wine so dark? It be tannins."
Oh man,
Okay.
That's some
That's
dad
pretty
joke there,
good,
yeah.
Hashtag Munchies brine recipe.
So I typically will stick to a pretty simple brine. For a gallon of water, I think it's like 2 cups of salt and 1 cup of sugar, something like that. And you can put black peppercorns in there, and I mean the whole peppercorns, right? Or bay leaves, or you can put citrus in there. Not too much because you're not looking to cook it, but if you cut wheels of lemons or limes or even oranges, I think more preferably. The citrus goes well with poultry. Herbs, fresh herbs go really well in there. They help kind of pull the olfactories into the meat and make it smell good. But it's versatile. But me, I typically just use the simple solution, some simple brine solution, and then I'll pull it out after it's been in there for 24 hours, pat the skin and salt it so that the skin on the outside is starting to dry so that it crisps, right? So I take 2 days to get my process done, 24 hours for the brine, and then the next 24 hours, the night before Thanksgiving, I'll pat the skin dry and then salt it so that it's drying out in the refrigerator overnight for the morning bake.
All right, Chef. So you mentioned like people bring things for Thanksgiving, and you were the mashed potatoes. People do that for Thanksgiving. They bring different side dishes. Okay, so if you're passing that out, like, if you're giving, okay, this is the most important, like you got to come correct and you believe in that person, what's that dish? And also, what's the person that it's going to be terrible? What dish do you pass them as well?
Oh, God, like there's always somebody that brings like a fruit salad or like a fruit cake or something like that. I just, I look at that and be like, you got to try harder. You're not getting the invite next year if that's what you get.
Or you're never getting off the fruit salad. That's what you'll always be. Yeah.
Right. On the other side of things, I have a buddy of mine, my best friend Parker, that owns the restaurant up in Toledo Bend. His family gets together on Thanksgiving, and we have a cast iron cook-off, and they have this pit that is built to have 6 or 8 cast iron pots on it at the same time.
Yeah.
And so it's not just Thanksgiving, it's a competitive Thanksgiving, right?
Right.
So, these are some good old boys and chefs that are going head to head, and so that brings out next level. Like you're literally watching them put their dish together, so you can be like, oh, I see what you're doing. Okay, I got to go back inside and find something else here.
My
something
dude.
to add back in there. So yeah,
The
I
quality
think,
of the meal has to be just unreal.
Yeah, there's been more than a few times that after the meal, people just start falling out in lawn chairs and such.
Okay, so
you take your nap where you can find it.
Okay, so Daniel Basham, #Munchies. Where's your designated napping spot after eating Thanksgiving food?
Yeah, that's depending on where I am. Like for the longest time when my grandmother was alive, it was in the recliner downstairs watching a Chiefs game or rather a football game. Nowadays at the house, I will sleep on my couch. If I'm at my brother's house, he's got a recliner that I like. I have little napping spots anywhere you take me. So, but it's usually if it's at somebody else's house, it's in a lazy boy recliner, watching a football game.
Yeah, I used to sleep on my grandma's carpet all the time. Very fond memories.
Yeah.
From that. Chef Michael Johnson, the man, executive chef for LSU Athletics. Chef, will probably hit you up early next week. We'll plan it out because obviously, we don't want to do it on Thanksgiving. Thank you so much, Chef. You have an excellent day, my friend.
You too, guys. Take care.
See you,
The
Chef.
legend. Yeah, Daniel, I agree. Lazy boy should go to whoever cooks the turkey. Fair. Unless you got like a matriarch or a patriarch, and that's their lazy boy. Then that's their lazy boy, regardless. But, yeah.
How much should Bob cook the turkey?
Not a nap taker.
After the meal?
I haven't taken a nap since training camp of 2013, probably.
Jesus,
so
man.
crazy you can just remember last time you took
10 years without a nap, not even.
Sounds like maybe you should cool off that house a little bit. Get a little AccuTemp out there. Get that temperature right where you want it to be. Hit that perfect
like a warm
nap
nap.
temperature. You want a warm nap? Okay, well, guess what? They do heating as well. And what if you have electrical problems? Your TV goes out. How much does a nap without a football game on? Well, it's all at AccuTemp. Okay, where you're going to get service to the highest degree. They're incredible. AccuTemp of Baton Rouge, AccuTempBR.com is the website. Again, guys, go look at the online reviews and understand with like thousands and thousands of reviews. Talking a 4.9 Google review rating. And, of course, everybody's licensed, uninsured. The work is quality because otherwise they wouldn't succeed, right? But I'm telling you, the customer service is such a game changer. You're never going to want to go anywhere else. AccuTemp Baton Rouge, AccuTempBR.com. Next, when we feel like dog crap, wake up angry with a headache, and then I can't sleep at night. Damn. That's crazy. Not me. I'll get in. I don't like an extended nap because that knocks you out. It kind of does throw you for a bit of a loop. I'll do a 20-minute ER doctor.
Yeah, it's like a
nap.
real nap, not a sleep.
I will. Yeah, like I will put a 15. I'll put a set alarm. Set alarm for 20 minutes. Put a book on tape on 50-minute sleep timer, and whatever you get in that 20, you will get juice out of it. It feels like you won't, but you actually will get juice out of it, and you'll feel pretty good to go. Yeah. All right. When we get back, more OTB. Keep it locked.
OTB, OT.
Gordon McKernan, injury attorneys. Remember, guys, it is that special time of year once again. That's right. The Christmas season is upon us. And when you're talking about Gordon McKernan injury attorneys, what that means is the big bike giveaway is back. And we're giving away more bikes than ever this season. 488 bikes in the Gordon Gives Bike giveaway. So how do you win, you ask? Well, it's quite easy. You go follow them on social media at GetGordon and then head over to GordonGives.com. Follow them on social media at GetGordon. Go to GordonGives.com. The deadline to enter, if you live in Baton Rouge or Hammond, is December 7th. The deadline for everywhere else in Louisiana is November 30th. So act soon, y'all. Get Gordon, get a bike.
Yeah, again, go to that website, GordonGives.com. That is where you're going to register. Remember, follow them on social media at GetGordon is the handle, but GordonGives.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done, or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency.
This Sunday, as we bring you 3 different NFL games, we start with the noon kickoff, the Chargers at Packers. Immediately following that, it's Buccaneers at 49ers, and then the night game, the Vikings and Broncos. Catch all 3 of those games right here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Interesting. So, I don't know what's going on with LSU women's basketball right now, but there are some, it seems like there's potential drama brewing. And this is from this morning. From 2 hours ago?
Apparently, yeah. This is all very fresh. I'm trying to catch up on exactly what all these tweets mean, but yeah.
And it's all very cryptic, so while there is drama brewing, I don't feel comfortable saying like exactly what we think that drama would be. But Jasmine Carson, who of course, was great in that championship game last year, ton of threes, tweeted, y'all better hope I don't say nothing, laughing, crying emoji, melting face emoji. To which then Carson's mom, basketball mom, says, the basketball world is not ready for this. Jazz got receipts to destroy that program. And again, with the y'all better hope I don't say nothing tweet that Jazz tweeted, Alexis Morris quote tweeted that and said, y'all better, said ready, set, go, MF. So, I don't know. You never know how these things are going to play out, but maybe a harbinger of some drama on the future for the program, but we'll see.
Y'all talk about agents of chaos all the time. Like, Jasmine Carson's a big agent of chaos here. Like,
yeah.
Why are you even tweeting that? It must be something that's bothering her to, like, a pretty great degree.
No doubt. But that is always the funny thing, though, right? Is sometimes people think their perspective is going to be the public's perspective, and that doesn't always happen, right?
Yeah.
Like, I remember reading an article about, which program was it? I can't remember now. There's a football program that was kind of getting in trouble for some, and basically some players tried to come out and be like, look how mistreated we were by the coach, and the headline looked really damning. And then you read the article, and I was like, well, this is just how you coach people. Like, I don't know. Like, these people are just kind of
Minnesota, PJ Fleck.
Yeah. That's what it was. Yes. Like, they were trying to bury PJ Fleck, and the headline looked terrible, but then it gained no traction because once you actually read what the player's saying, it was like, well,
he punished us because we were out drinking.
Yeah.
Like, well, maybe you shouldn't have went out drinking. But
it's like, what? I mean, I don't know. That's just kind of par for the course. So we'll see. Potentially interesting. But, sometimes a disgruntled person is just viewed as that being disgruntled, whereas other times they're viewed as maybe being right. So only time will tell in this situation. But maybe drama nonetheless. We will see. We will see what ends up happening there for sure.
There's nothing that'll make me respect you less as a grown adult than subtweeting. Like, telling your problems to social media, hoping for attention, instead of actually trying to go solve your problems. Kind of related, kind of not, but just pisses me off when people do that.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like either be about it or don't. Like, what are you? Are you trying to like,
You're crying for attention. Like,
well, I'm saying, yeah, like, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to, like, are you trying to, like, extort someone? Like, are you trying to threaten, say, hey, if you don't do whatever I guess I'm asking for, then, like, I'm going to go public? Well, it's like, okay, well, I don't know.
If you have something to say it. If not, stay off of social media, but don't just try and tweet stuff for attention. It's not going to solve your problems.
Yeah, even though, unless you are actually always planning on releasing whatever you think you have, this is a good way to build up attention and hype for it.
Yes, if you're going to release it.
Yeah, if you're actually going to come out and release it.
Which I doubt. We'll see.
I kind of doubt as well. How about that mom's got huge Eli Apple mom vibes? Yeah. God, Annie, I loved you. I don't know why you got so mad at me. I didn't say anything. That was my dad.
Didn't she block you?
Yeah, because my dad. The hell out of here, Annie. We're tight. You just come on all the time. I didn't block you because of Eli sucking. Yeah. I can't believe she blocked me either. No, it was a sad day in OTB history for sure. All right, when we get back, let's close the show with a little Ask the Bench. First, remember to go to DraftKings Sportsbook app, the DraftKings Sportsbook app. If you want to gamble on the NFL, NBA, NHL, it's all going on right now. But remember, DraftKings is official sports betting partner of the NFL. And so if you sign up for the first time, use the promo code Baton Rouge, all one word. You bet $5 in the NFL, you get $150 in bonus bets instantly. But remember, if you're a returning customer, we always got great game day deals and boosts and offers going down for you. And guess what? Like we laid out earlier in the show, guys, a lot of NFL football to bet on come next week. Okay, so look forward to that. Download DraftKings app, promo code Baton Rouge if it's your first time. The crown is yours. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-426-2537. Must be 21 or older, physically present in Louisiana. Select parishes only. Licensee partner, Golden Nugget, Lake Charles. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms. More
OTB, OT. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At Corbell Toyota Toyota in Opelousas, you can lock in the low rate of 3.99% on a Toyota Highlander. That's right, 3.99%. Lock in your low rate while you still can at Corvette Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luber for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. And I think we're rocking and rolling.
Join me for a Thursday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Rouse's. Chris Blair of the LSU Sports Radio Network will be aboard. Start getting you ready for LSU and Georgia State, plus a preview of LSU's basketball game in Charleston. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
So I think Taylor offered some interesting perspectives from the drama we were just talking about on the Alexis Morris tweet with her saying, ready, set, go, MF, saying, not as necessarily an endorsement of being like, yeah, like spill the tea, tell them what really happened, but maybe as like, I didn't do it. Like, what do you, like, okay, let's do it. Because as you said, Jasmine not at the ring ceremony, but
yeah,
Alexis
she
Morris
wasn't there.
very
And then,
much
like,
at
Alexis Morris, like, she walked out with Mulkey. She was teary-eyed. She was one of the only players Mulkey kept from the Nikki Fargas era.
She
Like,
started with her, too.
yeah, to me, it seems like that's more what it was. I'm an expert on all things women basketball drama, too, so
yeah, makes sense.
kind of, yeah.
I mean, that's a good read. It's a good read by you, though. Intent in texting is always hard to parse.
Very much so.
Yeah,
so
but
they
that's
should have
what,
different fonts.
Yeah,
sarcastic font. Yeah,
exactly.
Like, I'm old school anyways, but, like, if I have something important to tell somebody, I was like, I'm calling them because they're not going to understand my tone if I text them.
Well, and that kind of does change this little drama that we just broke down pretty significantly, because then at that point, it's not multiple parties, but it's one aggrieved party with multiple members of the same party.
Yep.
Because it's a girl and her mom, as opposed to a girl and mom and teammates. So that is a pretty significant difference.
It still all seems very petty and immature, if you ask me, but it's news.
I mean, that's a lot of life when you're younger.
I know.
But social media drama, like, is fun, especially like
fun.
when it's notable people. That's not like two celebrities, two athletes, whatever. It's always fun.
100%. The Britney quote that was making the rounds a little bit ago with her and JT, absolutely love it. Asked to be joined by Cole Kerslight, Vizzy Art Seltzer, Blue Moon, Light Sky, Citrus Sweet. Kid Rock and Jason Aldean are coming to Lamar Dixon April 2024. Will y'all be in the VIP or the Commoners? I don't think that's just not my cup of tea.
That sounds fun. I would go.
Yeah, it would be fun, but I'm not going to go out of my way, right? If it like lined up, I'd go, but yeah. Hell yeah. Y'all have a great day.
Good team.
OTB, OT.
Ask the Bench is Night Shift finished recording the final season. I know everyone's been really busy. So Night Shift has been done forever. I don't know when those final episodes will come out. I'm not in charge of editing it.
You've
but
already
it's a
recorded
really
it?
good. Yeah, we finished our first season
okay.
half a year ago, maybe now even at this point. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm sorry. But I do know that you want to go to RejuveMeMedical.com, restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. If you want to become your best self, fight the aging process, get stronger, faster, feel younger once again, andropause, menopause, you have facial aging, mood and memory problems, insomnia, weight gain, not getting the results in the weight room anymore, Rejuve Me can help combat all of this. Go to Rejuve Me Medical, get your labs drawn, and get that consultation today, RejuveMeMedical.com.
Yeah, different things they can treat for you. We always talk about fatigue and insomnia. What about weight gain? Gaining weight, can't explain it. What about not being able to lose weight? Doing the same things that you've always done to lose weight, but it's just not working. The pounds aren't coming off. Go see them today. They'll get you on a plan. RejuveMeMedical.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time to slip away.